Good evening and welcome to Foxhall Stadium here in Ipswich. Tonight, we start the journey to find our ROWE Motor Oil Premiership champions of 2024. It's semi-finals of the playoffs. It's the first leg between Ipswich Witches and Leicester Lions. The return leg is on Thursday. Then we move to the War of the Roses fixture. Bellevue Aces against Sheffield Tigers over two legs. That's how the next couple of weeks look. And then we'll culminate in that grand final in the final week of September. And we are joined by Kelvin Tatum and Scott Nichols. Cal, boys, it's crunch time.
Indeed it is. It's exciting times ahead. Really busy, of course, but it's what all the hard yards have been about now, isn't it? And I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, Ipswich, it's been a tough time for them of late, but they've managed to do it. They secured their top four place. And they had an encouraging result very recently. Yeah,
and it was a spirited performance from them last week, and they've got two good guests in Jankovic and in Tom Brennan as well.
Yeah, and Scotty will know about this. Tom Brennan gets around here really well, I think, and I think he's suited to this type of track. Jankovic has done well coming into British Speedway partway through the season.
He has. He's done a sterling job. I think on his first visit here, he performed really well, and we all know Ipswich is not the easiest track to come to, and on that particular night it was a bit tricky, a little bit deep, and so tonight looks a little bit slicker. So I think Jankovic will settle in nicely.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And Leicester Lions, I mean, they've been in a great run of form. They've only lost one meeting in the last 12, but they've also got some injury woes.
Yeah, obviously it is a slight problem for them. You know, Ryan Douglas is out, but I just sense Scotty actually brought this up on the way here. He fancied that they might well be stronger with RR tonight, and I tend to agree because everybody can take a ride. So I think that could be quite interesting to see how that plays out.
Interesting, Scotty.
Yeah, and it's not taking anything away from Dougie. He's a fantastic rider, very, very good gator, but I think it's fair to say it's not probably one of his favourite tracks, and it's also his birthday day. I reckon he's done a sneaky happy birthday, mate.
He's having a drink sneaky somewhere, yeah, but exactly. No, they're a great outfit, and as you rightly pointed out, the stats don't lie, and they have been in terrific form. Kings Lynn got the better of them last week, but you know, this time of year we know what momentum's all about. It's very important.
And then Max Vick, if he's leading from the front, he was exceptional when he was at home against Kings Lynn.
Sure.
And then Latvia had so much speed.
Yeah, he's a rider that when he clicks into gear, he is very impressive indeed. He has a lovely style on the motorbike. He can score and win races for fun. He can slip up though.
Yeah.
We have seen that, but if he's on form, then he'll lead the team well.
And we need Danny King to be on form. How important a captain performance does he need to put in?
A captain's performance is what it needs to be. I think by Danny's standards, it's not possibly been his best season, and obviously now with Emil and Jason, he's kind of the elder statesman of the team, and it's his time to step up. And I think Danny, with all the experience he's got, he knows his place inside out. So I think it's his time to shine. I think come this playoff time, everything steps up a level, and I think Danny's got the ability to do that.
It'd be a good time to step up, wouldn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, it's crunch time.
Mr. Tatum's quite feisty tonight.
I'm quite sprightly. It's you know, it's playoff time, it's semi-final time, the adrenaline is running, so why not?
It is actually a great atmosphere, but let's remind ourselves how we got to this point, and this is how the standings ended at the end of the Premiership. At the regular season, it was Sheffield Tigers top, Leicester Lions second, Bellevue Aces third, and Ipswich Witches fourth. Oxford Spires were actually on a great run of form. They were really pushing for the playoff position. They just lost some momentum. Kings Lynn finished the season on an absolute high, and Birmingham Brummies, just a great signing in Freddie Lindgren, but really were on the back foot from the off. So they're your playoff teams, and it's the first leg tonight. Now, there's been a load of rain here in the last 24 hours, and now it is cold. I'm regretting not bringing the thermals. But earlier tonight, Calv and Scotty went out on a track walk.
It's the first leg of the first semi-final here at Foxhall Heath tonight. I must say we are very excited indeed. Of course, it's the business end of the season. I've made my way to the entrance to the first corner, and I've got the dirtometer out. And there's a sensible amount of grip. We were here a couple of weeks ago when Sheffield Tigers was in town, and I've got to say the first 8 races that night, track was a little bit tricky. It did improve. Middle of the track, dirtometer again involved. There is a little bit of a top dressing there, but not quite as much as we see right on the inside. And then making our way out, actually, it's quite wide now here at Foxhall Heath. We have had a little bit of rain. Again, a reasonable amount of grip here. So I'd say actually the track looks generally overall pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. I think also the start line's been ripped up pretty well. It looks pretty decent. See the boys just coming out, taking a look for the first time. So there is a decent amount of grip on there. And overall, I think this is a good-looking track for the Leicester Lions and the Ipswich Witches to go head-to-head. But don't believe me, believe somebody else who knows this place inside out. Scotty Nichols is out here with me.
Yeah, thanks, Kelv. And I was going to say, keys to this place, really, it might sound a bit obvious, is line choice. And we're on the opposite ends of the track, Kelv. I'm on the third and fourth bend, and it's coming in here. What a lot of the boys do, it's really wide now. They've widened the track. A lot of the boys tend to follow that white line, so they end up turning too early. Then when they get to just about where my cameraman's panning to now, they realise they've made a mistake and almost have to correct themselves and then quickly drift up. Also, it's a bit greasy. It can be a little bit slippery here, and the track goes a little bit off camber in this third and fourth turn. So for me, it's all about line choice, but whatever happens, it's going to be a cracking night's racing. Over to you, Abby.
Yeah, we absolutely hope so, and he does know this track inside out. Scott has basically been an Ipswich rider this season. He's produced some great results for them, and tonight he's a busy man because he's now with the captains for that all-important coin toss.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. It's coin toss time. It's starting to get serious now. I'll come to the Ipswich Witches captain first, Danny King. Danny, let's look at the positives. You've got a full 1 to 7, which is quite nice. You're not having to rely on the pressures of that RR.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. I'm not a fan of running RR, and if anything happens on the day, you leave yourself short, really. So, yeah, it's nice to have a full 1 to 7, and hopefully we get off to a good start. Definitely,
obviously, it's almost impossible to replace the two guys missing, but Jan Kovetch impressed last time he was here, and Tom Brennan's in good form too. Yeah, definitely. Jan, when he's been here this year, has rode really well, and as we all know, Tom's in great form and rides this place well. So fingers crossed they can do a job for us tonight and we can all perform and get a lead. Let's hope so. Leicester captain, Max. Guys have had the pressure taken off. Your last few meetings haven't necessarily quite gone to plan, but do you feel that's possibly the fact that you knew you were in the playoffs and didn't need to do anything silly?
Maybe, or, you know, it's just nice to get a little bit of bad luck and a few other things out the way before playoffs start. So one way or another, we're here. You know, we're ready to go, and let's hopefully, you know, over these two legs, we can come out on top. Well, let's hope so. We're going to do that coin toss, get you to call when it's in the air, Max. Tails. Max calls tails, comes down tails. So you're going to have choice in heat 1, or would you like to opt to heat 15? Go 1 and 3 in heat 1.
Okay, there you have it. The Leicester Lions choose gates 1 and 3 in heat 1. Back to you, Abby.
Scott, thank you. We're now joined by Richie Hawkins, who's the manager of Ipswich Witches. And Richie, I've got to ask you, Emil Sayfutdinov, not here tonight, was racing in Poland yesterday and helped Torun get the win over Lublin in the Extraliga. Why is he not here?
Yes, he rode yesterday. He's not fit enough. I mean, for us, that's a big difference between racing and meeting in your home club, where we've not really got to travel, just riding, and then he'll have 4 or 5 days now to recover from that, to then get on a flight, travel, fly over, race here again in a couple of days. He's not going to be fit enough for that, and that's the way it is, really. I mean, certainly when you've got the injury he has as well, which is basically a hole in his bum. So, you know, it's not good for him to be travelling too much. But yeah, he was brilliant last night. I spoke to him after the meeting. He was obviously really happy with that. But he's not fit yet.
If the Witches get through to the final, will he be available then?
He would ride if he's allowed to. Yeah, he would ride. And I think if we were in the second semi, I think another week he'd have been fit enough to do it all. So, yeah, it's a shame that we're in the first semi and that's the way it was picked or drawn or whatever. So, yeah, he needs another week really to be more travelling and see how he gets on this week as well, and that there's not any major reoccurrences from him racing last night as well.
And that's the pressure also that I'm sure Polish teams put on their riders. It's big business there.
Yeah. There is that, and you can understand. I can understand it from their point of view as well. They're paying big money, and that's the sport's flying out there, which is great to see. But yeah, I don't know if it's just that. I think it's more he's not really fit enough to have a full schedule at the moment.
Well, you got a full 1 to 7, and you got the draw last week against Sheffield in the second leg of the Knockout Cup. That's got to give you renewed confidence.
Yeah, I think the boys took a lot of heart out of last Thursday's performance. I certainly did as a club. I think the supporters as well. We should be stronger tonight again. The boys are up for it. They're focused. They want to get a final. We've had a brilliant year. Shame, you know, with the injuries, but it's something we've got our heads around now, and delighted with the guests we brought in, and we want to make another final.
Good luck tonight, fighting talk. Let's look at the two teams this evening then and join Kelvin Tatum, who tonight's with Ollie Allen.
Yes, thank you very much, Abby. Good to hear from Richie Hawkins. Not an ideal situation he finds himself in there, but nonetheless, great to hear that Emil is back on a bike and riding well. Let's take a look at the visitors first off. Young Sam Hagan, who's had just a little bit of time on the sidelines of late, but is back and is fit to take his place in the lineup. We now have a change to the Leicester Lions team with Craig Cook out with a dislocated shoulder. We've got Louis Kerr, who is riding with the King's Lynn Stars these days. He comes in as a guest for the injured Craig Cook tonight. Now, Luke Becker, the American, has been flying in recent months. We did see him last week. He didn't quite have the meeting we were expecting him to have, but by and large, he has been in terrific form, and he's got some good form around Foxhall here. So look forward to seeing him riding this evening. Sam Masters now, of course, coming through. Another rider that's very busy as well with the Oxford Cheetahs, riding alongside Scotty Nicholls, of course, up and down the country relentlessly, still riding in Poland as well. Very, very busy time indeed. And my man to watch for the Leicester Lions is Richard Lawson, who had his testimonial recently down in Poole. And Richard riding at number 2 tonight. I'm sure he's going to put in a fine performance. And the team is led now, of course, by the Grand Prix star who finished 4th in the final on Saturday night in Riga, in the Bajkoniki Stadium. Max Frick, who was majestic last week with an 18-point maximum against the King's Lynn Stars. So they are the visitors, and they are in terrific form. Good-looking outfit, Ollie.
Yeah, really strong, 1 to 7. Don't see any weak links in there, and you can see why they're in the position they are at the moment.
So now let's take a look at the home team. Dan Thompson back down at reserve. Dan Thompson at reserve has had moments actually this season where he really has hit the highs. It's been a bit up and down, but back down at reserve could be very useful indeed for the home team. Now Ashton Bowden coming as a guest here because Jordan Jenkins has got a hand issue, and Bowden has been in fantastic form of late and been riding with Scotty Nicholls in the Oxford Cheetahs. Says he is really on top form. So the Ipswich Witches will be hoping for a big performance from him. Now, my man to watch for the Witches, Danny King, of course. He's been a man that is very familiar with this part of the world. He's been riding for the Ipswich Witches for more than a decade now. So he hasn't had a fabulous season, but at this time of the season, I suggest that he'll be very keen to do well here tonight. And Tom Brennan coming in as a guest here. They've got a couple of guests, of course. One is for Emil Sayfutdinov, the other one is for Jason Doyle with long-term injuries. But I've got to say, Tom Brennan, a very useful guest.
Yeah, very useful indeed. And this type of track and shape of track will suit the way he rides. So, yeah, great guest.
Now, Keenan Rue last week, talking to Chris Louis, was outstanding. And if he can reproduce something like that this evening, they will hold their own. The Australian rider really beginning to find his feet in British Speedway. Keenan is in good form. Adam Ellis. Now, he's had a few injury problems. Adam on his night is top class. And as I say, with an injury hit side, with guests in 3 positions in the team, the Ipswich Witches will be looking for a really solid performance. And Jan Kovac, now, he's had a tough time in the Grand Prix, but he's done well in British Speedway since he was signed mid-season by the King's Lynn Stars. And Jan will lead the Ipswich Witches here this evening. It's semi-final number 1 here in Foxhall Heath. Fabulous meeting in prospect. And for the moment, let's make our way back down to Abbey.
Thanks, Calvin. I'm just speaking to Stuart just off camera then. We're both saying really looking forward to tonight.
Yep, that's the reason why we all start the season all hopeful. But it's down to 4 teams now. Whatever we've done since the last meeting counts for nothing. It starts again now. Ipswich have got an opportunity, the same as Leicester, to try and get a place in this final. And I think it's going to be 2 evenly contested meetings.
And history for the Lions as well, making the playoffs for the first time in Premiership history. So, look, it's a big few weeks ahead.
It is. Now that we've got here at the semi-finals of the playoffs and we have made history, as you rightly say, we now want to go that one step further and get to the final. That's what it's all about. I think that would be a marvellous achievement for a second year back in the sport at the Premiership level. But Ipswich, they won't be easy. I guarantee that it won't be easy. This is going to be tough 2 meetings.
Stuart, good luck tonight. It's really tense stuff down here. The hashtag tonight, I should get this one right, no problem. I'm still going to look just in case. IpsLie. So IpsLie, use that hashtag on X or on Instagram, and I'll get your questions to Scotty Nicholls when we come back. It is Heat 1 of Leg 1 of semi-final 1 on the playoffs.
outside. He gets there. He fastens himself to front. Beauty. Whoa, he's under pressure now. Smarslik with a sensational first corner. Freddie Lingwood follows him through around the outside of Beauty. Beauty got beaten up there. That was a stunning move from Bartosz Smarslik. Freddie now giving chase. Back in second place. Beauty back in third. Oh, Smarslik's out of shape there.
Yeah, Smarslik got all out of shape there. He's riding a little bit tight. He's not comfortable, but I tell you what, he's racing hard, and Lindgren's doing absolutely everything he can. He knows this is a decent result, but it's going to see Smarslik take a couple more points lead going into the last couple of rounds. He's still going at it. Beauty, unfortunate for him, done everything off the start, just got swallowed up in the first turn.
Smarslik out in front. What a result this is going to be. Didn't look like a winner earlier on, not at all. Freddie's trying everything he knows back in second place, but it's going to be back-to-back wins for the world champion here in the Bajkaniki in Riga. That's an astonishing result. A round of applause for Bartosz Smarslik. That's why he's a four-time world champion. He's been under immense pressure. The confidence has been dented recently, but wow. That stunning move in the first corner fired him to the front, Chris, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, he's had a terrible night, hasn't he? He's won the Grand Prix, extended his lead with 2 rounds to go. I tell you what, he worked hard. The way he started his evening underneath those bikes, this is the result of a champion, a 4-time champion.
Dan, congratulations. You've made finals and always had this 100% record. Wasn't the case tonight, but huge championship points in terms of your nearest rivals in Mikkelsen and Jack Calder and Vasilik not making the semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't think about that too much, but you know, I always race to win. You know, even when we're having a tough night, you know, always race to win, and made a good start in the final. You know, I think I was actually in front, but kind of messed the first corner up, and yeah, I wanted to win like the first lap, and then to be honest, I started to think, I know it's the wrong thing, but it's like, well, you know, third, I've never really, yeah, I wouldn't mind ending my record and just make some more finals, to be honest. But yeah, awesome. You know, congrats to Bartek, congrats to Freddie, especially Bartek. He had a bit of a poor night, you know, with some crashing and whatever. So good fight from him, and yeah, congrats.
Congratulations to you as well, Dan.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. It is leg 1 of semi-final 1 of the playoffs, and it's Ipswich Witches who are hosting the Leicester Lions. Before we get on with the action, a reminder of the other motorsport you can enjoy. British Superbikes, round 9 for them. They're in Alton Park Saturday, 1 o'clock on Eurosport 2. The Speedway Grand Prix Series, it's a triple header, and we're heading to Boyens for the penultimate round. Smarslik with a 17-point lead over Freddie Lindgren. You can join us 5:30 on Saturday at Discovery Plus, and then the race itself will be 5:55 on Eurosport 2. The FIM Endurance World Championship from Bordeaux, that's Saturday, 1:30, live on Discovery Plus. And 6 hours of Fuji, that's the World Endurance Championship, and that's early morning Sunday, 2:30 on Eurosport 1. Now though, it is Ipswich Witches versus Leicester Lions in the playoffs. Let's get on with the action. Your commentators tonight, Ollie Allen. First, Calvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. Yep, this is what it's all about. Everybody's worked awfully hard to get to this stage of the season. And now you really have got to put your best foot forward. As a rider, Ollie, coming into the playoffs now, you don't want to let your side down, do you? You want to perform at your full potential.
Yeah, with the league structured the way it is, everything boils down to this. You know, it's I think Stuart Dixon mentioned it earlier, your form before this doesn't really matter. So everything's now on the semi-final, so a lot of pressure for the riders. They'll be feeling that for sure. A lot of nerves in this first race, but that's what it's all about.
Indeed it is. We've got on board with Adam Ellis in heat number 1, and we will be with him throughout the evening with the helmet cam with young Adam. The coin toss went the way of the Leicester Lions. Max Frick chose to have gates 1 and 3 in heat number 1. and that means that Ipswich Witches will have the choice of gates in Heat 15. Big night ahead, minimum of 30 races to determine who will go through to the final in a fortnight's time. So line up for heat number 1. Richard Lawson goes from the inside with the yellow helmet colour on. Adam Ellis out of gate number 2 in blue. Max Frick will start from gate number 3 in white, and Jankovic goes from the outside in the red helmet colour. Always important to try and get off to a good start on a night like this.
Absolutely, it really settles the nerves, not only for you as a rider, but for your teammates as well. If you can start strong, it really sets the precedent for the rest of the night.
Can't disagree with that. Particularly with your number 1, you look towards your number 1 to sort of set the tone, as you've said there, Ollie. And Max Frick is a genuine number 1. Jankovic coming in, and he's just turned 23. I mean, he has found himself in some pretty important roles since he's come in. He's led the Kings Lynn Stars at times. So here at Foxhall, guesting for the home team. He has got some big boots to fill, of course, because he would either be riding for Jason Doyle or Emil Sayfutdinov. Issue with the tapes there, they've just popped up. That wasn't quite meant to happen. So there'll be a tiny delay now, with riders just deciding if they're going to turn around. But oh yeah, we're just looking at the first bend as well. The air fence is just deflated a little. So we just need some gasoline, and that will re-inflate itself. So, yeah, that was a bit of a shame after the big build-up, and all of a sudden we've got a slight delay. But nonetheless, you can just sense with Richie Hawkins there shaking his shoulders. It's a nervy time, and Ipswich, of course, with Jason Doyle and Emil Sayfutdinov on the sidelines, it's been a very difficult time. They did get raced to a good draw in the second leg of the Knockout Cup against the Sheffield Tigers, who came through there with a 20-point lead at home. Obviously, they were victorious, but got to say that was a spirited showing, and that they'll need that again tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really been tough on the Ipswich Witches this year. They started off the season so well, and losing the two, probably arguably the best riders in the league to injury, has been so tough on them. So they've done well to salvage the season, really, I think.
OK, let's get some reaction now with Abby.
Thanks, Cal. Danny's such a team player. He's kneeling down to get to my height. Danny, these sorts of things now just add a little bit of extra nerves of what is a hugely important night.
Yeah, definitely. It's just one of them things. It looks like they've got it fixed now, but the boys are at the tapes ready to go, so they're going to have to regroup now, but it's not a big deal. They'll be fine.
And how are you feeling? We need a captain's performance tonight, Danny.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. It's, it all starts fresh now, playoffs, so hopefully we can do that and we can get a lead going into Leicester.
Thanks for chatting. Appreciate that. Good luck tonight.
Yeah. So good to hear from Danny there, and I think he probably just backed up what we've just been talking about. It's a big night. As I say, all the regular season results now go out the window. We start all square. Stuart Dixon described that, and it's 0-0 right now. And as I say, Ipswich Witches would want to try and have a slender lead if they can. They are the underdogs, even though they are at home. But there's no doubt that this team will be fighting hard here tonight. Sense it will be quite a hotly contested evening's racing, that's for sure. So for the second time of asking, Richard Lawson goes from the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Adam Ellis out of gate number 2 in blue. Max Frick comes away from gate number 3 in white, and off the outside is Jankovic in the red helmet colour. Hopefully there's a lot of gasoline kicking about in all of the compressors out there, blowing air into the air fences, and we can crack on with this meeting now. Richard Lawson, he's my man to watch for the Leicester lines. He's on the inside gate. He is a rock-solid sort of performer. He's been in these circumstances and situations on many occasions, so it won't faze him. And Max Frick and Richard Lawson off gates 1 and 3 is a good-looking pairing. That's an attractive pairing for the Leicester Lions for this opening race in semi-final number 1 here at Foxhall Heath. Here we go then. Green light is coming on now. Tapes are up, and away they go. They roar into the first corner. Lawson hits the front. We've got Quebec coming round the outside. He's charging down the back straight. Fantastic effort from Quebec. Away from gate number 4, we've got Adam Ellis there, up the inside of Max Frick, who's now relegated to the back. Richard Lawson is giving chase in second place, but this is good news for the Ipswich Witches here in the first race.
Yeah, fantastic start for Quebec there from gate 4, probably the unfavoured gate of the 4, and he's stretching his lead out in front, and he looks really comfortable on this tight Ipswich track.
Indeed he does. He has adapted to British conditions very quickly indeed. Isn't always the case from a rider coming from the continent, but Jan Quebec out in front with a lap to go in the first heat here. Swooped around the opposition in the first corner. Adam Ellis then forcing his way through into third place. Richard Lawson holding firm there in second place, but this is a terrific start for the home team, 4-2 to them. And that man in particular coming in as a guest here this evening. He starts his evening's work off with a fine ride there and a maximum score of 3 points and 4 points to the Witches. So how about that off of gates 2 and 4? That wasn't what I was expecting to see, in truth. I was thinking that Max Frick and Richard Lawson may just have the upper hand, but just shows you playoff speedway, anything can happen. So the result for you of the first race of the evening is Quebec out in front, 3 points for him. Richard Lawson back in second place, 2 points. Adam Ellis in third, 1 point for him, and Max Frick misses out in the opening race of the night. Well, there we go. Terrific start for the home team, Ollie.
Yeah, the Ipswich fans will be happy with that. Here we see Jan Quebec in the red helmet on gate 4, makes a brilliant start, gets across Max Frick. He runs to mid-track, gets onto the edge of that sort of ripped-up surface halfway around the track, and pulls away into the lead on the back straight. Great start from him. Here we see again on the helmet cam from Adam Ellis. He gets squeezed going into the first bend. You can see Lawson on the inside, Quebec on the outside. They take the 1 and 2 positions. Adam then moves wide to stop a run from Max Frick on the outside. Clever move from him there on the first lap. And there's Jan Quebec in front. Great ride from him, and fantastic way for the Ipswich boys to start the night.
Indeed, and the track looked like it was behaving impeccably there. When we were here a couple of weeks ago, it was tricky for the first half a dozen races, but here tonight, heat number 1, looks like there's plenty of confidence in the racing surface. Now, heat number 2, where we've got a couple of changes here with Ashton Bowden coming in for the injured Jordan Jenkins, and Bowden has been in good form for the Oxford Cheetahs of late. And we've also got Louis Kerr coming in as a guest here for Craig Cook, who has a dislocated shoulder. And Louis Kerr, of course, has been riding for the Kings Lynn Stars of late. He's an experienced rider now, and down at reserve will be quite useful. But the teenager Bowden, a lot of people talking about him right now.
Yeah, Bowden certainly had a good year this year, and this last week in particular, his form has been fantastic. He got a 15-point maximum away at Redcar in the championship, and really is one to watch. And for Simon Stead and I, he's certainly someone that we keep a very close eye on and are keen to watch him progress.
Rightly so, and the young Sam Hagan also has had a good season as well, the under-21 British champion, who's had some injury issues but missed a few meetings, but he's back in for the playoffs this evening for the Leicester Lions. So the lineup for heat number 2 is Ashton Bowden off the inside in the red helmet colour, Louis Kerr, the guest, coming in. He comes away from gate number 2 in white. Dan Thompson, gate 3 in blue, and Sam Hagan in yellow off the outside. Dan Thompson, the only rider we haven't mentioned here, is a rider that actually has hit some really good form at times this year. He's been in and out of the main body of the team, but down at reserve for the playoffs here this evening, he, like Louis Kerr, I would suggest, could be a big player. And if Dan hits top form, as I say, with a reserve can have up to 7 rides, they can have a massive impact on the outcome of a meeting. Richie Hawkins looking on. Tough times of late, losing your top 2 riders, but they've kept their enthusiasm going. Tapes up, we're underway, charging into the first corner. Bowden is there, but Louis Kerr has come around the outside nicely there, and there's no doubt that Kerr really made the best of that. We've got Dan Thompson now coming through into second place, with Ashton Bowden relegated to third, and Sam Hagan is out the back, but no real surprise here. That was a good first corner from Louis Kerr.
Yeah, very good first corner there from the most experienced rider in the race, Kerr there. He made a good start, a clever first bend, and looks comfortable in front. The track does look a little bit greasy. The conditions are starting to change a little bit, and you can see the boys are a little bit more tentative in this race.
Yeah, just a touch. They're a bit spread out. It will improve. There was some rain and drizzle throughout the afternoon, which will have made some impact on conditions. But Louis Kerr with a terrific move in the first corner. He's going to win the race. Yeah, he's coming out of the last corner now, and it's going to be a shared result here. So the Ipswich Witches retain their 2-point advantage after a couple of races there, but no question, Louis Kerr doing a fine job in his first raid tonight for the Leicester Lions as a guest. So the result for you of heat number 2, Louis Kerr out in front, 3 points for him. Dan Thompson coming through into second place, 2 points. Ashton Bowden back in third place, 1 point for him, and young Sandhagen just missing out there in heat number 2. 7 points to 5, all about the first turn.
Yeah, Louis Kerr and Ashton Bowden go to the first bend together here. Louis just gets over the top of Bowden going into turn 1. Really important battle that is, especially early on in the meeting. And you can see Louis there, he's just half a bike's length in front of him. Bowden then lifts in the middle of the corner and shows great bike control to keep that under control and keep that sort of third position. You see, if you watch here again, Bowden and Kerr on the inside. Kerr just gets over the top of Bowden. I think he just turned a little bit later, beats him to the first corner. Bowden lifts, and from then on, Kerr was untroubled in front, and a really good-looking ride for Louis in front.
Indeed, it was. So 7 points to 5 after the heat advantage in heat number 1 for the Ipswich Witches. Heat number 3 now, in the engine room of both teams, where we see Keenan Roux coming out here for the first time, and Keenan, just chatting to Chris Louis over the weekend, was saying that Keenan's performance last week was one of the best he's witnessed since he joined the club, and he'll be hoping that he really has turned a corner. Now, this man has got an important role to play, and big boots to fill, of course, effectively in for Emil Sayfutdinov. And Emil was in such sparkling form prior to that nasty injury he sustained at Allerton in Sheffield. Stuart Dixon just marching through the pitch to watch heat number 3. Tom Brennan, who learnt his craft down at Arlington in Eastbourne, and that's a tight track. This is a more technically demanding track. He will be suited to these sort of conditions and these sort of challenges that Foxhall Heath throws up. Riders just having a few tweaks there, just readjusting the rear chains after they've done a practice start. They do tend to slacken off a touch. Line up for heat number 3. Sam Masters goes from the inside with the white helmet colour. Tom Brennan, gate number 2 in blue. Gate 3 in yellow is Luke Becker, and off the outside is Keenan Roux. Luke Becker, who had a slow start to the season with the Leicester Lions, in the last 2 or 3 months has been scoring points for fun. We did see him last week, Ollie, and he didn't quite come up to our expectations, but round here it could be very different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a tricky track, this one, and if you feel comfortable and your bike setup's good, you know, you can really dominate some nights.
And I know that he's scored a whole hatful of points on his previous visits here this season, so Luke Becker will have fond memories of Foxhall Heath. I think you're right. I think the track is a little greasy. It will improve, but it's cooler out there, much cooler than it has been of late, and it does feel like autumn has turned up, and there has been some showers throughout the afternoon. Heat number 3 then, tapes up, brilliant start on the inside from Sam Masters. Brennan's there, chopping back to the inside. Here comes, oh, it's tight with Keenan Roux as well. Keenan Roux coming through with Luke Becker out the back. Hectic first turn there, and I've got to say that Sam Masters made an electric start away from the inside. We saw that last time we were here, and he's out in front, dominating heat number 3.
Yeah, great start from Sam Masters there. Clever first bend from Tom Brennan, also quickly switched back to the inside once he realised he hadn't made the start. And now you can see the Ipswich boys settling into that 3-3 position there. There'll be Keenan Roux in third place. He's protecting Tom. He'll make sure he doesn't allow Luke Becker to make any moves on him, and they'll hold that 3-3 position.
And they're riding nicely together in second and third place. Luke Becker is beginning to come on, but whether he's going to get to the front, Tom Brennan now is beginning to make it. Oh! Disaster for Masters. Down the back straight, engine failure. And that's going to give a huge moment for the home team. That's a massive 5-1 on Opportunist Mode. Bit of good fortune there for the home team. Desperate luck there for Sam Masters. He had that race in his back pocket. But the Ipswich Witches inheriting first and second. It was looking like a 3-all all day long. And then suddenly we've got a 6-point lead here after 3 races, and that was not on the cards. Brilliant moment for the Ipswich Witches. Oh, you've got to feel for Masters there. Tom Brennan out in front, 3 points for him. Keenan Rue coming through in second place, 2 points. Luke Becker inherits third place, 1 point for him, and a DNF for Sam Masters. Can you believe it? That was not what you want when you're out in front.
No, not at all. Sam Masters looking really good in front. You see him here from gate 1, makes a brilliant start. Gate 1's looked very strong tonight so far. Tom Brennan cuts back from 2 onto the inside, and the Ipswich boys quickly fill that second and third spot, protecting the sort of drawn heat there until Sam suffered an engine failure of some kind on the last lap. There you see Sam in the white helmet. Looks really comfortable, really stylish rider, always looks under control. And there you see the bike gives up. From here, it's hard to see exactly what happened, but Tom Brennan did brilliant to miss him. Quick reactions there to avoid the broken down Sam Masters. And there you see him walking back to the pits. He will be bitterly disappointed with that.
Indeed he will, and all of a sudden it's a very different outlook for the visitors right now when they're 6 points down. So heat number 4, where we see rider replacement here for the Leicester Lions. We have Max Frick coming in here for Ryan Douglas, who we do wish all the very best to Ryan Douglas, who has an injury. I think he has a cut on his arm that has actually become infected, so I'm sure he'll be looking to try and return as soon as possible. But Max Frick will come in here, and riders now emerging here. We also looks like we've got Louis Kerr here as well. It does appear that Louis Kerr is coming out as a reserve switch with Sam Hagan. So Louis Kerr, who was a impressive winner of heat number 2, and Stuart Dixon changing things around here. So Max Frick, who actually failed to score in his first ride, he can try and get that out of his system here in heat number 4, and he'll go from gate number 3 again, where he didn't actually score any points. He didn't get away very well, but he has changed his equipment as well, so he'll be looking for better this time.
Absolutely, yeah. Max Frick is not someone you'd expect to run 2 zeros in a row, so I'd certainly expect him to bounce back. He'll have made some changes from that heat 1, and he'll be looking to bounce back now.
I'm hearing actually from the pits that there was an ignition problem with Sam Masters' bike, so they'll be hoping that they can try and sort that out. So riders now up at tapes. Line up for heat number 4, Louis Kerr coming in as the reserve replacement here. Gate number 1 in yellow, gate 2 in blue is Dan Thompson. Max Frick coming out as the rider replacement here for Ryan Douglas. Gate 3 in white, and Danny King coming off the outside in the red helmet colour. Now, 6 points in it after 3 races, no panic stations, but a handy lead for the Ipswich Witches nonetheless. You've got to say that the Lions will be desperate to try and get a 5-1 here and really put some pressure back on the home team.
Absolutely, Stuart Dixon's wasted no time in making a reserve change there, and he will be keen not to let that lead extend, that's for sure.
Absolutely right. So Louis Kerr on the inside, he will be a threat. Dan Thompson, who was solid in his first ride, he had a couple of points there, but Louis Kerr did get the better of him. Here we go then. Heat number 4. Away we go. Dan Thompson's made a smashing start out of gate 2. And look at Danny King also coming around the outside. Ipswich is at it again here. Fantastic stuff from them. Louis Kerr's at the back, Max Frick back in 3rd place. Dan Thompson has run a little wide coming out of turn number 4, but Frick cannot take advantage of that. And look at King go. He's looking terrific in front.
Brilliant start from both of the Ipswich riders there. Max Frick, he's moving in on Dan Thompson. Dan Thompson won't be able to relax for a second in this race. Max Frick now moving to the outside. He's going to look to cut back, but Dan Thompson, he's looking really comfortable in 2nd place.
Indeed he is. Max Frick's working hard back in 3rd place, but hasn't been able to land a real blow yet. We're into the final lap now of heat number 4. and it's going the way of the Ipswich Witches. Will this be back-to-back 5-1s? It's looking very likely. Frick with one last chance now, trying everything he knows. But the Witches, the crowd are on their feet here. This is a sensational start to the first leg of the semi-final. What a result that is. Every point valuable, vital in the semi-finals of the playoffs. They got away superbly well there. Dan Thompson in particular from gate number 2, taking care of Louis Kerr. Smashing result for the home team. Danny King out in front, 3 points for him, 2 points for Dan Thompson. Massive 5-1. Max Frick trying everything he knows, but 1 point for him, and Louis Kerr misses out in heat number 4. Riders going round there just to wave to the crowd. What a start this is.
Now that is a fantastic start from Thompson from gate 2. Let's remember that gate 1 has made every start so far. So that is a really good effort. And Louis Kerr is a trapper. So for Dan Thompson to make that start from gate 2 really is some feat. So I mean, he controlled the first corner. He allowed Danny King to run around the outside of him. So brilliant ride from the young reserve there, and a real captain's ride from Danny King out in front. Here you see both the Ipswich boys on a 5-1. Danny King, great ride from him, leading from the front, and just what the Ipswich fans wanted.
Indeed. So a terrific moment for Danny King, and they were going along very nicely. Right, let's get down to Abby.
Yeah, Calvin at the start of the show said that you had to put in a captain's performance tonight. You said so as well. Danny, terrific out there. You got a 10-point lead after 4 heats.
Yeah, it's early days, and Calvin was right, I do. So, yeah, it's early days. We'll just take one race at a time. We've got off to a good start. Obviously, we got a bit of luck with Sammy breaking down in that other one, but, you know, that's what it's about. So we'll take it, and we'll keep building our lead if we can, and see what we can take to Leicester.
There's a smile there, Danny. There's an absolute smile. Thank you. Right, the hashtag is IpsLive. What a start for Ipswich Witches. We'll be back with Heat 5 after this.
late. I think he'll get that in a few of the rides that he should be more than capable of scoring good points. He has been, below what he's capable of. And I think he'll be the first one to admit it. You know, I've never seen a better rider than Danny King around Foxhall. You know, I used to watch him many years ago, so I think when he gets through form, 1 to 7, we've got a really good team, so you can't see the line on that. So I think it's good for the silverware, sure.
Welcome back to Foxhall Stadium. This is the playoffs. It's semi-final, leg 1 against Ipswich Witches and Leicester Lions. And Ipswich Witches have got off to a flying start. After 4 heats, it is 17-7. Scotty, what do you got for us?
Well, we're going to have a little bit of insight into the track, but what a start for the Witches. 10-point lead. Certainly didn't expect that. But on the little track piece earlier, Kel was giving his diagnosis of the track, and we said about line choice being part of the key. And I think Dan Thompson in this race here just serves that perfectly. He makes a brilliant start off gate 2, sits down the inside, allows his teammate Danny King and captain to come around the outside. But right now is where it starts to get really interesting, and Dan Thompson shows his composure and also his knowledge of the track. He makes a tiny bit of a mistake there. He senses that Max is up the inside of him. He cuts down low and then allows the bike to run up a little bit. He also knows the fact that the track on the outside is a little bit wet, a little bit greasy right now. Max is trying everything he can on the outside, but he can't quite get there. Max actually changed bikes for that race. He felt like his first bike was too powerful and spinning up. But line choice, look at Dan Thompson just on the edge of that dirt. Max Frick, Grand Prix rider, exceptionally fast, can't do anything about it. But Max is actually out in the next race, so let's see if he can redeem himself and get the Leicester Lions back in the game. Over to you boys in commentary.
I'm hearing that he may well have changed back to his original bike here for this third ride of the evening. He's only got 1 point from his first 2, so clearly bike setup not quite right there for Max. He hasn't been able to get off the start as well as he would have liked. But he's out here with his teammate Richard Lawson here, and the Leicester Lions must be a little bit shell-shocked right now, Ollie, because this has been a really impressive start. Obviously, there's a little bit of good fortune involved with Sam Masters packing up, but sometimes you need a touch of luck.
You do indeed, and yes, they have had a little bit of luck, but also the Ipswich boys have won some key battles going into that first corner, and it's paid dividends for them. And I think if you were to offer 17-7 to Richie Hawkins at Heath 4, he'd have bitten your hand off for it before the meeting. So yeah, great start for the boys.
He would indeed, he would indeed. So there's the man we've just been talking about, Max Frick. Line up heat number 5, Keenan Rue on the inside in the red helmet colour, Richard Lawson. Gate number 2 in yellow, gate 3 in blue is Tom Brennan, and gate 4 in white is Max Frick. Now Frick clearly is a little bit unsure about what bike he should be riding. I do believe this is the original bike from heat number 1 that they have just tweaked a wee bit. He'll be hoping he can get a good run around that first corner like Jan Kovac did, in truth, in the first race. There is Jan, who got off to a terrific start in the opening race of the evening. And I do believe that Max Frick actually he didn't have a room on Saturday night after the Grand Prix, and he actually doubled up with Max. And he said, oh, I'll sleep on the floor, but I think they came to a better arrangement than that. But there's Luke Becker, who will be looking for better also this evening. Got off to a disappointing ride in his first outing. So here we go, heat number 5, 10 points in it. Smashing start for their own team. I think all of their management team will be a touch surprised, but a pleasant one, that's for sure. Here we go. Tapes up, we're underway, charging into the first corner. Keenan Rue's got there. Smashing first turn from Richard Lawson. But Rue has been able to power around the outside. We've got Max Frick now coming through into third place. Good move from him. And we've got Tom Brennan, who's out the back. But Keenan Rue, he looks good out in front here.
Yeah, great first corner from Keenan Rue. He's stretching his lead in front. We've got the Leicester boys in second and third there, and Tom Brennan at the back. He's not letting them rest at all. Tom now dives in deep on the outside of turn 1. He's trying to go around the outside of Max Frick. Max shuts the door down the back straight, but Tom's going to continue on that outside run. Can he get around Max? Can he cut back on Max?
Tell you what, Tom Brennan's having a real good go here. Every point vital, as I said earlier on. Frick's having to ride a very defensive line. He doesn't look completely comfortable. Brennan trying all he knows here. We've got one final corner here on the final lap, and Keenan Rue has won that very nicely indeed. And in truth, for the home team, no damage done. A shared heat. The 10-point lead is retained with a stunning ride there from the Australian Keenan Rue. Both of the Leicester Lions riders again struggling to get away from the tapes as well as they would like. Result for you. Keenan Rue out in front, 3 points for him. Richard Lawson back in second place, 2 points. Max Frick picks up a point in third place, and Tom Brennan misses out there in heat number 5. Hotly contested race. I thought for a moment Brennan was going to get amongst the points, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, Keenan Rue it is that makes a great start from gate 1 here. You see him in the red helmet, the bike jumps, it lifts all the way to the first bend. He then runs, he opts to run high into the first bend. At one point I thought he'd gone too wide there, and maybe Lawson was going to sneak up the inside, but a bit of home track knowledge there from Rue. He knew exactly what he was doing. He ran into that dirt line and it towed him down the back straight. Here we see Brennan and Lawson fighting on the way to the first corner. Tom didn't get off the start again. He opts to cut back low on the first bend. The drive's not quite there. After that, Tom had speed. He probably looked quicker than the Leicester boys, but the track's proving difficult to overtake. It really is important that the boys, get a good start and set themselves up on that first lap with track position. There we see Keenan Rue again. Great style out in front. Really did look fast, and we heard he was on good form last week, and it looks like he's continuing.
Yeah, he's had a strong start to the night. He's got 5 points from his first 2 rides. We've got a couple of changes here in heat number 6. We've got rider replacement, of course, for the Leicester Lions, and it's Sam Masters coming in to take the rider replacement ride here. And the change at reserve as well, it's Sam Hagan will come in here as the switch for Louis Kerr. So those are the 2 changes for the visitors here. We're on board with Adam Ellis as he makes his way round to the tapes for heat number 6. 10 points in it, 20 points to 10. Smashing start to the night for the home team. If they can go away with a 10-point lead going into Thursday night's second leg, they will be more than satisfied with that. That will be a big challenge for the Leicester Lions to overturn. So can they maintain it, or will the Leicester Lions battle their way back in? There's a long, long way to go again here this evening. So riders just up tapes now, just digging around on the start line. Masters, I'm sure they will be hopeful. Or have they changed bikes there, or have they managed to fix the original bike? I do know that there was an ignition problem that he encountered. Line up for heat number 6 is Sam Masters on the inside, white helmet colour. Gate number 2 in red is Jan Kovac. Gate 3 in yellow is Sam Hagan. He comes in for Louis Kerr here. They switched them around like they did a little earlier on, and Adam Ellis will go from the outside in the blue helmet colour. Leicester Lions under pressure. Sam Masters with that disappointing DNF earlier on. Can he bounce back here, Ollie? They desperately need him to.
Yeah, they really do. He looked $1 million in his first race. I think with it being an electrical problem, then hopefully it was easily fixed, and he's on the same bike for this race.
Yeah, because that bike seems to be working very well indeed. Sam Hagan, there is a certain amount of pressure on young Sam here because they need a heat advantage, and he's going to have to try and get the better of either Kovac or Adam Ellis. Rob Lyon here as well, the Kings Lynn Stars team manager, keenly looking on. Here we go, heat number 6. Tapes are up. We're into that first turn. Smashing start from Masters on the inside. He's drifted wide. Kovac coming up the inside, but Masters retains the lead. He charges down the back straight on the opening lap. Kovac again coming on strong in second place. We're on board there with Adam Ellis back in third. Sam Hagan is at the back, but Masters now will be keeping his fingers crossed. That bike keeps going.
Yeah, brilliant start from Sam Masters, and once again he's looking comfortable in front. That bike of his is pulling quite hard. It's fast. It doesn't look easy to ride, but he's got great bike control, and he's settled into that first position. But Kovac is not giving him a second to relax.
He's not.
No, he's pushing hard on the outside. Kovac looking very handy around this tight Ipswich track.
They're into the last lap. Sam Masters out in front. Jan Kovac winding it on round the outside. He's getting quicker and quicker. He's got one last chance through the final corner. He's elected to go to the inside. Oh, he's hit the curb. He's out of shape. Nearly hits the fence. Just about hangs onto the bike. In truth, that's probably what Stuart Dixon was looking for there. Young Sam Hagan just found that tough in that one. But Masters away from the inside gate, maintains that lead and picks up the vital win there, just as a damage limitation. It's still a 10-point lead, but in truth, they could have been worse off. Good ride from Quebec back in second place. He looked very threatening there for some time. Masters out in front, 3 points for him. Jan Quebec back in second place, 2 points. Adam Ellis in third with 1 point for him, and Sam Hagan misses out in heat number 6. Sam Masters is sharp away from the tapes tonight. He really made an electric start here. We saw it when we were here witnessing the Sheffield Tigers do something similar.
Yeah, brilliant start there from Sam Masters. The bike just hooks up all the way to the first bend. He elects to run high on the first bend. It looks at one stage like Quebec might sneak up the inside, but Masters, you can see he's on that deeper dirt on the outside. It tows him down the back straight into the lead. But from then on, it wasn't plain sailing. Here we see again Quebec and Masters going into the first bend. Masters runs wide into that cushion of dirt on the outside. It tows him down the back straight. And then after that, Quebec didn't let him rest at all. He pressured him the whole race, and Quebec's really impressed me tonight. It's coming from the Czech Republic. It's not the type of track he'd have grown up on at all, but he looks brilliant. It looks, it's a great move by Richie Hawkins to bring him in. And here we see again, I think this is when he hits the curb on the last lap. Here we go, front wheel hits the curb. And here at Foxhall Stadium, the curb is actually raised by sort of 3 or 4 inches. So if you hit your front wheel on that, you are going to know about it.
Indeed you are, but a terrific ride for Sam Masters out in front. We've got Scotty on the start line now. Scotty, what's it all about down there?
Well, it's all about gating. As you know, Sam Masters made a fantastic start for the inside. Coil was come apart apparently, but he certainly got it fixed for that one. But these inside 2 gates, there's a lot more material down here. If you look here, it's nice and soft there. But the starts are a bit deceptive here. They're not always as grippy as they look. If my cameraman spins around a little bit, you can see that the inside 2 gates is a lot deeper and darker. If we move to the outside of the gate, which is on the racing line, it gets a lot lighter, which there's no grip there. But interestingly, gate 3 doesn't actually look too bad. There's still a little bit of material here. You can see a rut here where the rides have gone from, but gate 3's had no race winners. Gate 4, if I come out here now, this is where the guys are going to be searching. There's literally nothing here. That's really, really quite hard there. You can see it's literally down to the base, so there's nothing here. I'll have a little look out right by the fence and see if there's something. Maybe better try and pack something in there. What's really quite interesting is the pits are just over there, so a lot of the riders will kind of come over here, have a sneaky little look, see if they can have a look at the starts, get a bit of an idea. Obviously, they're not allowed out here and touch it. Surprised, as you boys will know in commentary, how much you can kind of get a sense of what the starts are like from the old toes, having a good little dig around and seeing. But as the cameraman spins around again, you can just highlight right there where the racing line is. That's why gate 4 can be difficult to get across. But yeah, over to you boys and carry on.
Cheers, thanks Scotty. Yeah, interesting how quickly that's become quite slick down that start and finish straight. Everybody roaring over that gate 4 makes that run to the first corner very difficult indeed. Stuart Dixon will be looking to his troops now to respond. They need to. 10 points down after 6 heats. As I said earlier on, if the home team can maintain a 10-point lead going into the second leg on Thursday evening, then they will be more than happy with that. That puts pressure on the Leicester Lions. They really have to claw their way back into this meeting if at all possible. Luke Becker being one of those. He had a 3rd place, but he inherited that. He was out the back. We've got Sam Masters with 2 on the bounce here, having taken his rider replacement ride in the previous race for Ryan Douglas. He comes out here to partner Luke Becker. They're up against Danny King, who was a terrific winner first time. But there's no doubt that Sam Masters and Luke Becker will be very keen indeed to get amongst the big points this time and get a big heat advantage if they can. But the Witches are in the driving seat right now. Line up for heat number 7. Danny King off the inside in the red helmet colour. Terrific win first time out. Sam Masters, the winner of the previous race, he's out of gate number 2 in white. Ashton Baujan, gate 3 in blue, and Luke Becker off the outside in yellow. This is tense times, and as I say, the injury crisis that the Ipswich Witches have had to cope with in recent weeks. They lost 8 meetings, had a draw last week. They coped without Jason Doyle admirably, but when they lost Emil Sayfutdinov, it really did make it very difficult indeed to get suitable replacements. So far this evening, they have hit the ground running, and Leicester Lions, for many people, were the favourites coming into this semi-final. definitely their form of late has been outstanding. So they've got a fight on their hands tonight, that's for sure. Riders coming forward now. Heat number 7. How's it going to pan out? Tapes are up. King's made a lovely reaction. He fires himself to the front. Sam Masters elects to go right back to the inside. Here comes Luke Becker. Becker now through into second place. Oh, Belgian up the inside. Stunning move from the teenager. He charges through to third place. Can he hang on to it? Masters is relegated to the back. The Ipswich Witches are flying out there again. Becker's on the charge, but Danny King hunched over the handlebars, riding out of his skin here.
Oh, what a first lap there from the teenager, Ashton Belgian, diving up the inside of Sam Masters into turn 4. There's no way Sam was expecting that. But Luke Becker in second place here looks a lot more handy in this ride. Carrying loads of speed. Danny King's not an easy person to keep up with around here, and he's keeping me honest in front.
Indeed he is. Still another heat advantage on the cards here for the Ipswich Witches. Going to stretch that lead out to over to 12 points. Fantastic stuff. Becker came on strong there. Encouraging signs from the American there, but you've got to say Sam Masters, having won the previous race, fails to score in the very next one with a stunning move from Belgian, who charged up the inside. No respect for his teammate from the Oxford Cheetahs, where they ride together. And what a vital point that is. 4-2. And all of a sudden 27 points to 15. Stunning result once again in heat number 7 for the home team. King out in front, lovely ride from him, much better from Luke Becker in second place, 2 points. Ashton Belgian coming through with a very valuable third place, and Sam Masters surprisingly misses out in heat number 7. See it again here, Ollie.
Yeah, great start from Danny King here in red. He makes a start off gate 1. Now, the key person to watch here is Belgian in blue. He drifts up high, he cuts back, and he comes from quite a long way back. He dives up the inside of Sam Masters, and I really don't think Sam expected that at all. I didn't expect it. It was a great ride from the teenager. Here we are. If we watch Ashton in blue, he leans back. He's trying to get that bike to work to the first bend. Becker beats him to the first corner. Ashton then cuts back. He uses that fresh dirt on the inside of the back straight. It propels him up the inside of Sam Masters and into third position. And that is a really important third place. And that heat advantage for the Ipswich Witches is massive.
Indeed it is. And when you look at the scoreline now at 27 points to 15, it is an extraordinary scoreline. And there's no doubt that they will be chuffed to bits with that. Right, let's get back down to Abby in the pits.
Yeah, thanks, Calv. I'm going to see if I can, you know what, I'm going to try and get a word with Luke Becker, but he's still got his helmet on. I'm going to get a word with Sam Masters. Sam, just having a message. Sam, this is a tough evening tonight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When you're doing RR and 2 in a row, it's hard work. This ain't the easiest track, but yeah, I was winning my first one and the bike stopped, obviously, and won my second race, and then put someone else's wheel in, but it felt like no good.
Ashton Belgian there, you're going to have a word with your teenage mate in the championship.
Nah, he didn't do anything wrong. It's playoffs, you know, so he rode good, but yeah, I'm not happy.
Not happy. You've got to bounce back. Sam, thank you so much. Right, that hashtag tonight is IpsLi. Leicester have got a job on their hands. Ipswich are in fine form here in the playoffs. Join us after this.
Last week to Genex Radio, and they really have followed the Witches at home and away this year. So thanks to Mike Boswell, the Speedway correspondent, and also the whole team who really got behind
So after 7 heats here at Foxhall Stadium, the Witches have a 12-point advantage over Leicester Lions. Stuart Dixon ordering his troops out for a meeting just a moment ago. Before we get back with the action, let me remind you of other sport that you can enjoy. It includes the Cycling European Championships. Wednesday at 2 o'clock, Eurosport 1. It's a women's time trial followed by the men's. Then Cycling Grand Prix in Quebec. That's Friday at 3:45 on Eurosport 1. And the Sydney Marathon is Saturday at 10 o'clock on Eurosport 1. Scotty, let's hear from a teenage sensation.
He certainly is a teenage sensation. One that has low respect for his fellow teammates at Oxford. He just dived up the inside of Sam Masters there.
Yeah, sort of didn't make a good start. I thought I'd cut back and, you know, it's just fair racing. You got to race anyone and, yeah, just trying my best and always trying to work on things and, yeah, I'm slowly getting there.
Yeah, certainly as we can see the replay here, you see he didn't make a brilliant start, but you've got so much grip up the inside. I'm just joking, it was a good move up the inside of Sam. You're in such a rich vein of form right now.
Yeah, I'm always learning and just always trying to figure things out and learn off the top boys. So that's what I'm doing and I'm slowly getting there and improving. So it's working out for me and hopefully, yeah, just keep getting better.
Every day's a school day, but it's you're coming into a real kind of pressure end of the season. What's the atmosphere like within the Ipswich team? Obviously, you're jumping in last minute.
Yeah, I really thank them for giving me the chance to ride. You know, it's always experience and a chance for me to learn. So I'd like to thank them and they're a great team and a great team manager. So, yeah, just having fun and riding my bike.
Well, you're putting in a great performance. I'll let you crack on. Thanks for chatting to us. Over to you guys in commentary.
Yeah, thanks, Scotty. Yeah, good to hear from Ashton Belgian. He's done a good job so far, coming in at the last minute. Jordan Jenkins just being recently injured, so he's played his part so far. And although he's only got a couple of points, that third place last time is so important when you've got a heat advantage there with your teammate out in front. So, you know, long may that continue. He'll be hoping so. A big experience for him. He'll learn tons tonight. On the way home tonight, Ollie, he'll reflect on it, won't he? Thinking, crikey, yeah, I was out there and I was really competing.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, he's taking scalps of people like Sam Masters, who really is a top performer in this league and in Europe and has been for a long time. So these meetings are great for a young lad like Ashton Belgian to get involved in and feel the atmosphere and deal with the nerves, and it's great. It's just another stepping block for him in his career.
Absolutely. So as per programme in heat number 8, and I've got to say, on paper, I fancy the Ipswich Witches here. It's looking good for them. Richard Lawson out here, pressure on him, we would suggest. Sam Hagan out again, who hasn't scored a point so far. Will be desperately trying to do so, but each reserve will have to have 3 rides. This is his 3rd one now. Line up for heat number 8, Dan Thompson on the inside in the blue helmet colour. Sam Hagan out of gate number 2 with the yellow helmet colour. Gate 3 in red is Adam Ellis and Richard Lawson off the outside in white. Now, Sam Hagan is finding it tough out there. Stuart Dixon is aware, more than aware, of course, that he requires 3 races. This might be the last time we see him this evening, unless he does something pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it could well be. That's on Sam, really. If he can produce something here, then he'll be out again. But if not, then yeah, probably the last time we see him.
So Adam Ellis and Dan Thompson. Dan Thompson playing his part. Thompson's done pretty well tonight. He's got 4, paid 5. Decent return from his first 2 rides. Smashing ride last time when he was under so much pressure from a Grand Prix rider right up his exhaust pipe, but maintained his composure. Heat number 8, midway point of the meeting, the first semi-final. Tapes are up, charging into the first corner. Richard Lawson made a lovely start from gate number 4. Don't know quite how he did that when we saw the track report from Scotty. So slick out there. Lawson hits the front. Round the outside comes Adam Ellis now, chasing hard in second place. He's right up the exhaust pipe of Lawson. Where's he come from?
Wow, he really is going great guns in second place. Lawson now responds, gets a bit of breathing space down the back straight. Dan Thompson in second place, a shared heat right now, but this is a tight one out in front.
Yeah, great start from Lawson from gate 4, unexpected if anything, but Adam Ellis has got plenty of speed in second place. It's going to be tricky for him to pass. Lawson is no slouch, he's an intelligent rider, and he's going to try and ride in the right part of the track to stop any potential moves from Adam.
Indeed he is. Richard Lawson now just moving out of the dirt, gets a bit of extra speed, got some breathing space into the final corner. Lawson with a stunning start from gate number 4. Dependable as always, Lawson there. He knew how important the 3 points there were, and he came through. Came under a lot of pressure. I've got to say that Adam Ellis was very brave through turns 3 and 4, generated tons of speed and was really closing in at a rapid race, but that man was able to resist that charge. Heat number 8, a shared heat. Richard Lawson out in front. 3 points for him. Adam Ellis, 2 points for him in second place. 1 point for Dan Thompson. Sam Hagan missed out in heat number 8. It's a shared heat. The 12-point lead is retained. Leicester Lions still under big pressure.
Yeah, they are. Fantastic start here from Richard Lawson from gate 4. After Scott Nicholls' track report, looking at the start positions, I really did think it was going to be tough for the Leicester Lions to get much out of this race, but Lawson is a trapper. He made a great start from gate 4. Here we see again in the white helmet, drops the clutch and the bike reacts and pulls all the way to the first bend, and that really is no mean feat at all. And after that, he was fast in front. Adam Ellis had speed. He put him under pressure. Adam Ellis was sort of gaining on him every time around turns 3 and 4, like there we see on screen. But then as the riders went into 1 and 2, Lawson seemed to have a better line coming off of turn 2 and would extend his lead again. So great ride there from, I mean, brilliant race from Richard Lawson. And I think Stuart Dixon will be happy with the 3-3 there.
Indeed. But they'll be looking to heat number 9 now to try and grab some points back if at all possible. But right now the programme looks good for the Ipswich Witches, the way it's pairing up. We've got Tom Brennan coming out here as the guest for the home team, but Louis Kerr's back out here now in heat number 9. It does appear that Luke Becker is coming in as the rider replacement rider, who was much improved last time with a good showing in second place. There he is, the American. And I'm expecting better things the longer the night goes on for Luke Becker. Just sense that he's beginning to really figure it out there after a steady ride where he inherited 1 point in his first ride.
Yeah, I agree. I think Becker's going to grow into this meeting. He certainly looked like he had loads of speed in his second ride. So I think if he can get fresh air, he'll be a tough man to beat.
Yeah. Line up for you for heat number 9. Tom Brennan's on the inside in the blue helmet colour. Gate number 2 in white is Luke Becker. He's the rider replacement for Ryan Douglas here. Gate number 3 in red is Keenan Rue, who's having a great night. And off the outside is Louis Kerr, who's won his first ride. He's in the yellow. He won his first ride, then failed to score second time out. But we've just seen Richard Lawson produce something pretty special from gate number 4, where he didn't actually get the slingshot. He made it. He got there to the apex of the corner in front from gate 4. So it is possible if you get it absolutely dead right. But I tell you what, Keenan Rue's in top form, and he's on gate 3. And that always makes it a little bit difficult if you've got somebody there's quite sharp away from the tapes right alongside you. So pressure on here, important times for the Lions. No doubt about that. They need to, and they'll want to, reduce that lead. 12 points, 30 points to 18. Great scoreline for the Ipswich Witches right now. Terrific stuff from them so far this evening. Here we go then, in number 9. Brennan's made a lovely start on the inside. Kerr's come across quite well. Becker's coming through into third place, excuse me. I thought he was in second there. Here comes Louis Kerr up the inside. Brennan out in front for the first time this evening. We've got Adam Ellis, who's at the back. Brennan, this is good news again for the Ipswich Witch. Oh my goodness, he's lifted violently there, but he's controlled it beautifully. I thought he was going to get in trouble there, Ollie.
Yeah, fantastic bike control from the young Englishman there. Lifted, and these bikes are not easy to control when they lift like that, but Tom showed great control, and he's now extended his lead in front. Great start from him on the from gate 1, and he's stretching his lead over the Leicester Lions.
Indeed he is. Good news for the Witches. There's a shared heat right now.
Louis Kerr got away pretty well from the outside. This is a better showing from him. Luke Becker back in third, and Adam Ellis has tailed off at the back. But in truth, again, no real damage done, and Brennan wins nicely. Terrific ride from him. Hasn't had a great night so far, but that was an important win from Tom Brennan for the Witches right there, just to maintain that lead of 12 points, 33 points to 21. And as hard as the Leicester Lions are trying here, they just cannot claw their way back into this opening leg of the semi-finals. Tom Brennan wins at a canter, 3 points for him. Louis Kerr back in second place, 2 points, 1 point for Luke Becker, and Keenan Rowe misses out this time in heat number 9. Here we see it again.
Yeah, the riders in. You see Tom Brennan there from gate 1. He lifts quite hard all the way to the first corner, and it's quite a clever move here from Tom. He stays low on the first bend. He trusts that grip round the curb. Then he moves wide onto the back straight. First rider we've seen do that tonight. And after that, he stretched his lead, but it wasn't plain sailing. Here we see coming out of turn 2. You'll see the bike lift in a minute, and you'll see Tom have to react. There we see, I mean, look at the bike control there. Fantastic throttle control, sort of balance, body movement there to get the bike back under control and keep the bike going forward down the back straight. Really good. A fantastic ride from him.
Lovely ride from Tom Brennan. Let's get some reaction with Scott Nichols now.
Yeah, thanks, Calvin. With Max, I'm just about to sneak off. He doesn't want to talk to me, but we're going to collar him. Max, it's been a bit of a frustrating night for the Leicester boys so far. It's a lot of activity on in the pits. Has the track caught you boys out a little bit?
Not necessarily. I think it's more just the starts are so slippery, especially from some of them. You know, just caught us out a little bit on how to get off them. So we're doing our best to try and change some bike setup and trying to work together to see if we can get something to work.
And when it kind of goes like that, obviously there's a lot of pressure on this meeting, and is it kind of hard to then kind of keep that team morale and everything going because you're also focused on getting your own stuff sorted out?
A little bit, yeah, but you know, Stuart's great at pulling us together and trying to you know, have a chat and help each other out as much as possible. So we're doing all we can at the moment, and hopefully we can pull a few of these points back.
And what sort of stuff is Stuart saying? Is he kind of just trying to keep the morale up, or is he getting a bit insistent and kind of really putting the hammer on you boys?
I think, you know, he's just trying to gather us up and get a bit of motivation amongst us, and you know, just trying to get us to work together as much as possible to share some information and try and get our bikes working as best as possible.
Let's see if he can do that. I'll let you get back to it, Max. Appreciate you talking to us. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Yeah, lots of work going on in the Leicester camp, that's for sure, trying to figure it out. And we've got Adam Ellis there just getting himself ready for the next race. So there we go. Terrific stuff from him. Ellis coming out here with his partner Jan Kvek, who has done a great job so far. Sam Masters and Luke Becker here, heat number 10. If there's going to be some sort of fight back from the Leicester Lions, this pairing of Sam Masters and Luke Becker, you've got to look to them. As a team manager, you'll be looking at those two to try and claw your way back in it.
Absolutely. You said at the start of the show they're this engine room of the team. I'd agree with that. They've got the potential to fight back here, but off gates 2 and 4 it's going to be difficult. Kvek's shown plenty of speed. Adam looked fast in heat 8, so this first corner is going to be really important, and another heat advantage here to Ipswich, and spells danger to Leicester to me.
Indeed it does. They will not want to see them disappear out of sight, that's for sure, because the second leg, of course, it's possible. We've seen some remarkable turnarounds. We did it, Ipswich Witches, actually last season. When Sheffield Tigers clinched that title, they had 18-point lead going into that, and the Sheffield Tigers were able to overcome it. But it does make it a lot harder, and they will be very keen to reduce that 12-point lead if they can. But right now, the Witches are holding firm. Terrific stuff from them. We've got Ellis there just digging around on the inside. Masters, who was frustrated after not scoring last time, just seemed a bit frustrated and angry almost that he hadn't managed to get amongst the points. Clock's ticking here for young Luke Becker, who is coming out for his back-to-back races here. Of course, he had rider replacement. He's got 45 seconds to make it. It's not a long distance, not too far to go from the pit exit to the start line, but this is going to get tight, no question about that. They're still just adjusting the rear chain. 30 seconds to go. Here he comes now. Yep, he should make it just in the nick of time. So Becker enters the arena now. He's going to get there just in time. So the lineup for heat number 10, Adam Ellis off the inside in blue, Luke Becker coming out for his second consecutive ride, gate number 2 in yellow, Jan Kopeck out of gate number 3 in red, and Sam Masters from the outside in yellow. Here we go. Can the Lions get a heat advantage here? Well, it takes a go. Roaring into the first turn, and the Ipswich Witches, they hit the front. Wow, what a dominant display this is from the home team. Smashing stuff again from Jan Kopeck, the guest. We've got Adam Ellis there coming through in the second place. Sam Masters back in third, and Luke Becker is at the back. But you've got to say the Ipswich Witches are just irresistible tonight.
Oh, what a first corner from the Ipswich boys. Adam Ellis makes the start. He allows Kopeck to come round him on the first bend. Kopeck looking brilliant in front, extending his lead, and Adam Ellis staying with him, and they're pulling away from the Leicester boys.
They are really in a class of their own there. We're on board with Adam Ellis as he tucks inside his teammate here. Jan Kopeck doing a fabulous job as a guest here this evening. This is the second time he's been out in front, and as hard as the Leicester Lions try, they just aren't at the races here this evening. It's another 5-1. Massive moment here. This was not what we were expecting. Nobody would have predicted this. But fair play to the Ipswich Witches. They have been through a torturous time of late. They really have been up against it, losing their top 2 riders. And here this evening with a patched up team, the fans clearly delighted with it, and they are roaring away out in front, moving on to 38 points to 22 points to the Leicester Lions. One-way traffic right now. Ipswich Witches in total command. Brilliant stuff from them. Boys just going round for a celebration lap, rightly so. This crowd will be beside themselves. Here we go. Heat number 10, the result for you. Jan Kopeck, another lovely ride from him. 3 points out in front, 2 points for Adam Ellis in second place. Sam Masters coming through in third, and Luke Becker misses out there. We fancied that he'd be right on it here in heat number 10. It wasn't the case. Got to say, the Ipswich Witches just have got the key to conditions and are dominating.
Yeah, they really are. You see Adam Ellis from gate 1, his bike explodes off the start line. He controls the first bend. He has a look over his shoulder, which is key. And he allows Kopeck to run round the outside and get into that 5-1 position. And from then on, they just stretch their lead. Here we see from the helmet cam, Adam Ellis makes a clear start. He looks over his shoulder. He checks that it's Kopeck with him. He'll have another look. There it is. Kopeck round the outside into the lead. And from then on, Adam Ellis and Jan Kopeck are untroubled in front. Really fantastic ride from those two. Here we see a great shot of the 2 riders coming into the corner together. I really have been impressed with Jan Kopeck tonight. It's not the sort of track you'd expect him to excel on, but he's looked $1 million.
He has indeed. He's just dropped 1 point so far, and that is a fabulous return for him. Leading the team, riding at number 1. Not easy, there's pressure on there, and he's made light of that and has ridden superbly well here this evening. It is 38 points to 22 now. So it is, as I say, Ipswich Witches in the driving seat. That man there, Stuart Dixon, will be a touch concerned. He wouldn't have been expecting this. He's seen some terrific form from his team in recent weeks. They really have been on a fantastic roll, including myself. I fancied their chances in the semi-finals, but here in the first leg at Foxhall, the Ipswich Witches have turned the form book completely upside down. They are proving all the doubters wrong, and with their patched up team with 3 guests, they are doing a fantastic job here.
They are indeed, and it's worth mentioning that their choice of guests tonight has been very good. You know, that's key here. They're trying to fill the boots with some experienced riders, and Richie Hawkins and Chris Louis between them have done a good job.
Well, I've heard on many occasions, Ollie, that Jason Doyle and Emil Sayfutdinov, you can't replace them. Well, I think Jan Kopeck and Tom Brennan must have heard that, because they are certainly doing a terrific job for them, and they have made light of being underdogs here, and they've come out firing on all cylinders and are leading the way. And at heat 11, at the 2/3 mark in the first leg, this is a terrific lead they have, and really and truthfully, they just need to try and hang on to it now. If they can hang on to this, then all of a sudden Thursday, they're going to be going there thinking we can get through to the final.
Absolutely. Like I said, they've turned the form book upside down and surprised everyone, including myself. But yeah, they look brilliant, and fair play to them. And like you said, if they can keep the scores even from now on in, they'll be happy with the 16-point lead.
Indeed they will. Line up for heat number 11, Max Frick off the inside in the white helmet colour. Danny King, who's going great guns tonight, gate number 2 in red. Richard Lawson, gate 3 in yellow. And Ashton Belgian off the outside in blue. Richard Lawson has done okay. 7 points on 3 rides is a reasonable return. Max Frick below par tonight. No question about that. The Grand Prix star, who was riding superbly well, of course, in Riga on Saturday night, hasn't been able to turn on the style here. You just sense if he can hit the front, he will generate a lot of speed, but he hasn't found the key to the starts here this evening, that's for sure. Richard Lawson, I hope they've been talking to him, because that start he made from gate 4 earlier on was exactly what the Leicester Lions need, and they'll be able to reduce the deficit.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic start, and Scotty said 3 was better than 4, so let's see what Lawson can do from there.
Absolutely. He might be halfway down the back straight before they left the tapes, if that's the case. But he is renowned for his starting ability, Richard Lawson. Here we go then. Heat number 11, tapes are up, underway. Frick's made a good start on the inside. Richard Lawson's made a lovely turn back to the inside. He read that beautifully, and for the first time this evening, the Lions hit the front. Danny King back in 3rd place. Ashton Belgian is out the back. Frick off the inside. Richard Lawson with a lovely cutback. Classic cutback in the first turn. They're out in front, and for the first time, they've got a 5-1 on the cards here.
Yeah, great start from Max Frick from gate 1 and an intelligent first corner from Lawson. He's now got Danny King on his tail, but at the moment, the Leicester boys are looking comfortable in front. It just shows what a difference it makes when you hit the front.
Yep, we are witnessing it right now, and this is good news for the Lions, who have been, oh my goodness, Lawson's out of shape there, having to hang on to the motorbike, recovers just about. Danny King not being able to take advantage of that. Frick's away out in front. One last blast through the final corner here in heat number 11, and the Lions, well, they've come roaring back here. And that's just what they need. And they reduce their deficit now. 39 points to 27 to just 12 points. Just 12 points. I say 12 points is still a very handy lead to have, but nonetheless it's much better than 16 as it stood just prior to heat number 11. So Max Frick out in front, first win of the night for him, 3 points. Richard Lawson, 2nd place for him, 2 points, 1 point for Danny King in 3rd. Ashton Belgian misses out in heat number 11. Now they need 1 or 2 more of those, don't they, Ollie? And all of a sudden they'll close in on the Ipswich Witches. Just to show, you said it in commentary, starting so important.
Absolutely. Max Frick looks like a different rider once he hits the front. Makes a fantastic start from gate 1. No hesitation in moving up into that dirt line on the first bend. Lawson read that move, cuts back to the inside. You can tell they ride together. He knew what was going on the first bend. Here we see Lawson here, does a very intelligent first corner in the yellow helmet. He's missed the start. He turns back, he covers that inside, and immediately the Leicester Lions are on a 5-1 down the back straight. Danny King, he, as usual with Danny, doesn't give up until the bitter end, but Lawson had him covered. Maybe the comeback is on.
Well, an encouraging signs there in heat number 11, that's for sure, and they'll be pleased with that. Now let's get some more reaction now. Scotty's down there with Stuart Dixon.
Well, Calv, it's Abby rather than Scotty's, but I'm with the man himself. Stu, that's an important heat, really important for Max and Richard Lawson there to get the 5-1. Your first heat advantage of the night, Stuart.
Yep, it was. We've had so many last places tonight, which has been a catalyst for our downward performance. I think the first 7 races we had with last places in every race. Credit to Ipswich, they've come out the guns, blocks, they're flying, they're doing really well. That 5-1 that we lost the previous heat has just took away the good work for Max and Richard in that one. But we do have a run of 1s and 3s now off the gate positions. I'm not sure what they are, but I think they're slightly better. I've got my programme worked out. Louis Kerr will obviously take Sam Hagan's last race. I've got everything in place. Riders just need to do their jobs. We're 12 behind at the moment. I'd like to cut into it a little bit. If it was to finish 12 down, it gives us something to fight for, but we can't allow it to go any more. When it went to 16 there, I thought this is getting away from us. You can hear my voice, pretty excited, pretty passionate. It's,
You took the boys out, and Ben, our cameraman, he bravely tried to follow you.
It was a few words getting spoken. Nothing, just that they were letting themselves down because they've done so well the second half of the season. I said to them, you worked so hard to get here. I said, don't give it all away up in the one night. So, and then I got a wee bit excited as I do. But we've got ourselves back into it. But we now need to make sure we don't lose another here. But we need to build on that last one. I'll probably have another wee chat, which will be a wee bit calmer this time, hopefully. But we need to try and make this final. You know what it's like, all right? Cheers.
You ask him 2 words, he speaks for 100. Absolutely amazing. But it's that spirit that is going to be so important for these boys. They need to bounce back. They've cut the lead now to 12 points. We've only got a few heats remaining. Stay with us. There are 4 heats remaining of this first leg of semi-final 1 of the playoffs, and Witches have a 12-point advantage over Leicester Lions. And there's a team meeting going on with the Lions. Tom Brennan's been a brilliant guest for them tonight, as has Jan Kavet, the Grand Prix rider from the Czech Republic. Has been outstanding. Actually spoke to him in Latvia. It was his first time riding in Riga, and he said riding on these tricky tracks like Ipswich has been so useful for him. Scotty, your pearls of wisdom.
I don't know about pearls of wisdom, Abby, but I'm going to talk about Kel's men to watch. And first up was Richard Lawson, huge experienced rider, just celebrated 10 years in the sport, and had a solid night, to be fair. He started off pretty good, but then his last race there, Max Frick, really pulled the Leicester Lions back into it. Heat 11. Watch this first turn from Richard Lawson, just read that perfectly. Danny King goes out in pursuit of Max Frick, who's out in that dirt line, but Richard Lawson, smart move up the inside, there, and then just shepherds his teammate around. Max Frick just gets a little bit of unwanted grip there, but it was a fantastic ride from Richard Lawson that really got them back into it. But then now Danny King, off gate 4, not the favoured gate, but captain's performance. Danny King in Heat 4 there certainly needed to get the Witches off, or continue their flying start actually, and it was a captain's performance by Danny. And I know that Danny's not had the best of season, so for him to really kind of hit form tonight has been key for them. Not such a good last race, but you know he'll be going all out to try and turn that around in Heat 13. Over to you guys in commentary.
Yeah, thanks very much, Scott. Yeah, Richard Lawson going along nicely. Danny King having a good night. He's had a couple of wins in the 3rd place, so a solid showing from him, as it is for all the Ipswich Witches tonight. They have done a great job, including the teenager Ashton Belgian coming in as a reserve. It's a moment now for the Leicester Lions. Can they continue that momentum that they picked up in heat number 11, their first heat advantage of the evening? They've had to wait some time, they've had to be patient for that, but heat number 12 with Sam Masters here, Louis Kerr out again. Kerr has had he's had a win and a 2nd place, so he's on 5 from 3. So if he gets away, Louis Kerr looks like he's on the pace. Sam Masters has had an up and down evening. He's had a DNF, he's had a win, he's had a last and a 3rd. So big race here for the Lions. Can they just keep it going? But I tell you what, not easy, because Keenan Rue's going well, and so is Dan Thompson. And that's the representatives for the home team here. Line up for heat number 12, Louis Kerr on the inside in the yellow helmet colour. Keenan Rue out of gate number 2 in red. Sam Masters gate 3 in white. And Dan Thompson will go from the outside in blue. 12 points is the margin. Stuart Dixon saying that would be okay. That's something to work with, but 16 didn't fancy that at all. So that 5-1 came in the nick of time. Just need to keep it going. Can they reduce it further here? I don't know. On paper, Rue and Thompson, well, that's a good pairing.
It is indeed. I think the key battle here is going to be Keenan Rue and Louis Kerr going into the first bend. If Rue can get over the top of Kerr going into turn 1, that will be a huge help to the Ipswich Witches. If Kerr gets there first and allows his teammate Masters round him, then it's going to be tough to come back from that.
We've seen overtaking quite difficult tonight. Once they settle down out of the first corner, the track is such that when you get on the edge of the dirt, there's no question that is the fastest way round. Sam Masters has had a difficult night so far, but when he has hit the front, he looked pretty impressive. Should have won his first 2 races, but subsequently just won the next 2. Here we go, tapes are up. Heat number 12 into the first turn. Kerr's made a lovely start on the inside. Here we go, around the outside from Sam Masters. Oh, up the inside, Keenan Rue, lovely move from him. Kerr's moved wide now. It's coming under all sorts of pressure from Dan Thompson. He just about hangs on to 3rd place. Masters out in front. It's being chased hard by the Australian. Keenan Rue in 2nd place.
Yeah, great start there from Sam Masters. Keenan Rue quickly into 2nd place, dived hard under Louis Kerr. It looked like Dan Thompson was going to maybe have a look through up the inside as well, but Louis Kerr's held on to that 3rd possession, and the race is settling now into their current positions.
Yeah, it is indeed. Masters bouncing back well here. Great first turn. I thought Kerr was going to hang on in 2nd place, but Keenan Rue had other ideas about that. Charged into 2nd place. Brilliant stuff from him. And that 5-1 in the previous race is now going to be backed up by a 4-2. Deficit going to be reduced to 10 points. 10 points. And that is a fight back. They are beginning one here. in the last couple of races. Good work there from Sam Masters. He's had a difficult evening, but showed good resolve there and came out fighting. Louis Kerr doing a steady job back in third place as well. A very useful third place indeed. So 41 points to 31, just 10 points in it now with 3 heats to go. Still a useful lead, of course, but Sam Masters wins, 3 points for him. Keenan Roux coming through into second place, 2 points. Louis Kerr back in third, 1 point for him, and Dan Thompson missing out in heat number 12. Super ride from Masters, and once again a heat advantage for the Leicester Lions.
Yeah, that battle was key going into the first bend. Louis Kerr makes a good start from 1. He stops Keenan Roux controlling the first bend. And what's key there is Louis Kerr makes a start, but he allows Sam Masters round him on the first bend, and that gives them that heat advantage position. Here we see again the Leicester boys make the start. Louis Kerr, he knows his teammates there. He stays low on the first bend and allows Masters to swoop round the outside. Clever move here though from Roux, dives up the inside of Kerr going into turn 3. And it looked at this stage like Thompson might sneak through as well. There we go. Oh, the riders, they actually bang handlebars coming out of turn 2, but strong move there from Louis Kerr to hold on to third. And Sam Masters looking brilliant out in front.
He did indeed. Good ride from Sam Masters, and he'll be feeling a lot better about affairs now. Now we've got rider replacement here in this one. We've got a big race coming up, of course. Heat 13 is always a big race. We've got Richard Lawson coming out to partner Max Frick, and they've been riding well together. They got that 5-1, which was potentially, arguably, a turning point tonight, and that just a few moments ago. Stuart Dixon clearly encouraging his troops on. Richard Lawson coming in, as I said, for his rider replacement. He is very, very keen for his troops to turn this around. Just having a word with his boys. And so far, in the last couple of races, it's working. Heat number 13. What a moment it is. Richie Hawkins just looking all cool, calm and collected. Line up for heat number 13, Quebec's on the inside in the red helmet colour. Max Frick out of gate number 2 in white. Danny King, gate number 3 in blue. In the rider replacement ride is Richard Lawson from the outside in yellow. Lawson made a stunning start from there a few races ago. Can he do it now? It's a tougher race, no doubt about that. He really will have to put a rabbit out of the hat, I would suggest, or a stunning first corner. But there's no doubt Stuart Dixon, he wants a maximum from his riders now.
Absolutely he does, and like you said, Lawson has previous from gate 4. He can do it, so he'll fancy his chances, but it is a tougher race. Heat 13, notoriously the toughest race of the night, bar Heat 15. But the Ipswich Witches on probably the favourite gates 1 and 3. They're going to need a big race here from Quebec.
2 Grand Prix riders on the inside, 2 starts here. Quebec actually at times in the Grand Prix has shown really good speed, but just hasn't quite had the consistency. But nonetheless, there's no doubt he's a young rider that's going in the right direction. Frick, a winner last time out, first time of the evening, had to wait a while for it. Can he produce a start here out of gate number 2? Clamp Quebec on the inside and allow Lawson round the outside. Not too much longer to wait. Lawson just taking his time to settle on gate number 4. Heat number 13, here we go. Tapes up, away we go. Charging into the first turn. Frick's there, he's had a look to the right over his shoulder. Richard Lawson's trapped in traffic, just not managing to get round the opposition here. Up the inside, here comes Danny King charging on there. Gan Quebec back in third place. Lawson's there lurking out the back as well. But now all of a sudden Max Frick beginning to show his class.
Yeah, indeed, Max Frick showing that Grand Prix quality in front, but Danny King's not letting him rest. He's had a little look up the inside there, but Max Frick dominated that first corner. The race settled now into a 3-3 position. I think the Ipswich boys will be happy with this.
Yeah, they will. It won't be too bad at all. Got to say that Frick looks very good now out in front. Danny King put pressure on him early doors. Jan Quebec solid in third place, but it's going to be a shared heat, so the lead is retained. Richard Lawson just not being able to get across from gate number 4. It is a real big challenge from there. And yeah, the Ipswich Witches won't be too concerned about that. They'll be happy enough, I would suggest. A 10-point lead with just a couple of races to go. 44 points to 34. still in the driving seat. The result for Heat 13 for you. Max Frick strong in front there, 3 points there for him. Danny King back in second place, 2 points. Jan Kovac 1 point in third, and Richard Lawson missing out in heat number 13.
Here we see Max Frick from gate 2 there, makes a great start. He has 2-3, looks over his shoulder to see if Lawson's there. He's not, so he moves out to that dirt line, that faster part of the racetrack, and he then concentrates on himself. He knows his teammates at the back, so he's now thinking, I'm going to go up and win this race. I'm going to secure the 3 points. Danny King has a little look up the inside there. It's fair to say Danny kept him honest throughout the race, but here we see again, Frick from gate 2, really good start, gets over the top of Kovac, looks over his shoulder, his teammate's not there, he moves to the outside, he now clears off in front, and Lawson stuck at the back, couldn't make it from 4 that time, and here we see again, quality style here from Max Frick out in front, little understeer into the corner there, really looks good out in front, and he's now come to form at the right time in the meeting.
Yeah, had a slow start, just 2 points from his first 3, and then he's got 6 from the next 2, so you're dead right. Max Frick turning on the style in his last couple of races. Heat number 14 here, and the Leicester Lions are going to keep battling, you would suggest. 10 points in it. Tom Brennan out as well. He's ridden well tonight, Tom Brennan. It's been a very, very good guess. So is Jan Kovac. They have done their job so far this evening, but they won't want to let it slip. Having been 16 points up at one stage, they won't want to let it slip too much. They will want a lead. 10 points would be very useful indeed. Becker hasn't had the night. We're looking at Luke Becker here. He hasn't had the evening he would really have been looking for, but he comes off gate number 1 this time. And Becker, who has not managed to win a race this evening, maybe his opportunity here in heat number 14. He'll be hoping so, and so will Stuart Dixon. Richie Hawkins just keeping a close eye on the programme. Line up heat 14. Becker's on the inside with the white helmet colour. Ashton Bowden comes out of gate number 2 in blue. Louis Kerr, the rider replacement switch here. He comes out of gate number 3 in yellow. And off the outside is Tom Brennan in the red helmet colour. Louis Kerr is coming in for Sam Hagan here, who's had his 3 rides. We won't see him again. But Louis Kerr's done a reasonable job, you know, tonight. He's gone along okay. He's a good starter, Louis Kerr, so got to say, white gates 1 and 3, an opportunity here for the Lions.
Yeah, indeed, and Becker's looked fast all night. He's looked handy, he just hasn't had the fresh air. He'll fancy his chances here from gate 1. Looking at him there, doing a little bit of gardening, it does look tacky down there, it looks grippy, and as a rider, you'd like the look of that.
Yeah, he must be fancying his chances now. He's got a youngster alongside him. He must believe that he can get the better of Bowden on the run to the first corner. And then just hope, and fingers crossed, that Louis Kerr gets away well from gate number 3. We saw Richard Lawson struggle last time from gate number 4 and got trapped in traffic out of gate around that first turn. Heat number 14, tapes are up. Away we go. Ashton Bowden makes a lovely start. His argy-bargy's gone down. Ooh, I tell you what, Tom Brennan did well to miss him. Very well indeed. Got to say, initially, Bowden made a lovely jump. Really did make a sharp start there. Wayne Jarvis, our referee, will wait to see what his decision is there. I think it's a first turn bunching.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, if you watch Bowden here from gate 2, makes a brilliant start from gate 2, and he looks to get over Becker. No, Becker was slightly ahead of him, gives him a little nudge, and down he goes. It's certainly going to be an all 4 back, I think.
Yeah, that would be my call on that as well. So, yeah, it's confirmed. It's confirmed now that the referee has decided that we'll have all 4 riders back to the start line. Ashton Bowden just taking his time here, chatting with Richie Hawkins. As I say, that was a really good start, but Becker did just draw clear and just clashed as they went in the first turn. It's quite tight there, and you've got to say that a second chance for all concerned. Brennan off that outside gate. Well, he'll have some experience there. Whether he'll make a few tweaks now, maybe go fairly extreme just to get it to the first corner, because that racing line is slick. Right, let's get some reaction with Scotty.
Oh yeah, sorry, just chatting to Adam Ellis. He just says he's read my book. I didn't know you could read, mate. But you're having a solid night tonight, mate, and for the Witches to be 10 up, you must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, we are. I think, you know, we had a good meeting against Sheffield. Right, we all pulled together and showed that we want to do well even without Emil, Jason and Jordan. So, yeah, so far so good. I think we could possibly get a few more points to take to Leicester. They're a strong team at home, so we need to try and get as many as we can.
Have you been a little bit surprised by their performance tonight? Because they really have been the in-form team of the latter part of the season, and tonight you're really putting it to them.
Yeah, they have, but it's, you know, it's the playoffs, and I think everyone tries to step up a bit for the playoffs. You know, we know we're the underdogs and we got nothing to lose, so we're just going to throw the kitchen sink at it and try and get through to next week's final. So, yeah, we're all out there racing and we want to do well. They've obviously had a couple of tough meetings against Kings Lynn, which has probably done us a favour as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can bang in a few more heat advantages and go there with a bit more of a lead.
And that's probably switched for a positive, because I have to say, kind of earlier in the season, you guys were running away with it, and probably the pressure was on you guys to perform. And now, like you just said, you're the underdogs. Has that kind of taken the pressure off you boys, and it's almost been able to come in a bit more relaxed and just, like you said, chuck everything at it?
Yeah, we haven't really got any pressure on us now. We've I think everyone knows that we're missing our two best riders, and you know they were guaranteeing us 25 points a meeting, so it's kind of like easy work for the rest of us. But now we've got to try and make up for that, and you know it's a tough league this year, and I think you can tell a lot of guys are struggling, and we struggled a bit when we lost them both, but it's the playoffs that count. So if we can try and be on good form for that, then that's the plan anyway.
Well, it is, mate, but it's a team and you boys are stepping up. Good luck for the rest of it. Over to you guys in commentary.
Thanks very much, Scott. I'm a little surprised Adam didn't get him a clip round the ear there, but he got away with it. Fair play to him. They get on very well, clearly. So boys coming back out to the start line for the restaging of heat number 14. So Luke Becker's on the inside in the white helmet colour. Ashton Belgian, who bit the dust in the first corner, he's back out there. Gate number 2 in blue. Louis Kerr out of gate number 3 in yellow, and off the outside is Tom Brennan in red. As I say, this is just as important as heat number 13. 10 points in it, and they say can retain the 10-point lead. They really will feel confident going into Thursday night up at Leicester, the second leg of the first semi-final. Belgian none the worse for just getting bumped off there in that first corner. Becker there on the inside, as you said, that inside gate looks quite tacky still, but tell you what, young Ashton Belgian, that bike did really dig in and drive to the first corner. He'll be hoping for the same now.
Absolutely. I think this, if he gets the same sort of reaction, he'll be looking to close that door a little bit quicker.
Yep, absolutely right. Here we go then. Second time of asking. Brennan just taking his time on the outside. He's ready now. He lights on, tapes her up. Away we go. Belgian again has made a lovely start against that. Ashton Belgian fires himself to the front. Here comes Tom Brennan around the outside. Brilliant moment here. Wow, what a start from the teenager. Becker now coming into the thick of the action. Belgian looking over his shoulder. Brennan was a little untidy, but he keeps it all together. Belgian there in second place. Becker searching for a way through, but a 5-1 here on the cards at a vital moment.
Oh, brilliant start from the young rider there on gate 2. Made the start over Becker, shut the door, allowed his teammate around the outside, and now the Ipswich boys are bouncing back with a 5-1. Who'd have predicted it?
Fantastic moment if they can hold it all together. Ashton Belgian, the superstar, away from the tapes, made a sensational start, allowed his teammate Tom Brennan around the outside, tough from the outside, needed a bit of help through this final corner. Becker's there coming up the inside. Oh, it's going to get close. Oh, that's awfully close on the run to the line. Not quite sure which way that's gone. Not sure if Belgian actually held on or not. Brennan won the race relatively comfortably, but right at the death there, did look like Becker might have sneaked second place away. Let's have a look here now. Second time around on the slow-mos. Well, maybe Belgian just held on. Maybe he just held on. Let's have a look at this head on. Ooh, ooh.
Dead heat.
Well, I'll tell you what, Becker maybe just Becker on the inside of him. Yeah, Becker did get there. Still, it's a good result for the home team, though. 4-2, they will be delighted with that. 12 points going into the final race of the night. And then, as I say, they've just been terrific tonight throughout. Tom Brennan out in front, 3 points for him. Luke Becker with a real last-minute charge there. He picks up second place, 2 points. 1 point for Ashton Belgian, who really did play a big role in that race. And Louis Kerr misses out in heat number 14. Smashing stuff from Belgian. To come out and do it again as well. Pressure really on with an international rider on the inside. This was a brilliant moment for him.
Yeah, watch Belgian here in blue. He makes a brilliant start, and after being knocked off in the first round of the race, that shows incredible sort of willpower and confidence to bounce back and make the start. And you can't underestimate the work he did on the first bend there. He's made the start and he's allowed Tom Brennan round the outside. If Belgian didn't make that start from gate 2, Brennan wouldn't be in the position he was in. So here we see again Belgian from gate 2, great start. This time he clamps the door immediately over Becker. And then has a look over his shoulder and he allows Brennan round the outside. He covers the inside move, and from then on it looked like a 5-1 all the way, but Becker doesn't give up. He fights to the very end. And here we see Belgian in second place. At this point, going into the last lap, he's got a little bit of a lead over Becker. But Becker then starts to gain on him going into the last bend, and as we saw, he just pipped him over the line. Great 4-2.
OK, let's make our way down to Abby.
Yeah, thank you, Calv. I just saw Richie Hawkins talking to his 2 guests tonight. That may be an insight of who is coming out into Heat 15. We're having a look at a Leicester team meeting. Stuart Dixon is just such good value. He's so passionate. I might quickly just grab a quick word. Tom, this has been such a good meeting. You and Jan have been brilliant guests.
So far, so good. We still have a 1 race to go, so I have to give it everything there.
All right, Tom, thank you so much. Right, 1 race to go. Looks like he's going to be in it. Stay with us. It's a big Heat 15 coming up. We have one heat remaining of this first leg of the semi-final of the playoffs, and Witches have a 12-point advantage, a handy 12-point advantage over the Leicester Lions. As I said, one heat remaining. Before we go with that heat, though, all the other motorsport that's coming up for you, British Superbikes. They're in Alton Park this weekend on Saturday at 1 o'clock on Eurosport 2. It's round 9 for them. It's round 10 for the Speedway Grand Prix Series in Vojens in Denmark. And you can join us 5:30 on Discovery Plus and then 5:55 on Eurosport 2. The FIM Endurance World Championship, the Bold Doors, Saturday at 1:30, Discovery Plus, and you can join it on Eurosport 2 at 9 p.m. Scotty, now with the managers and their picks for Heat 15.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I was just in my world of my own there for a minute, but Heat 15, big Heat 15 coming up. Richie, it's been such a fantastic display from the Witches. It's been very, very tough for you for the last few weeks, but you've had two fantastic guests come in.
Yeah, we've done brilliant. Yeah, delighted with the boys, but this is a massive heat. I mean, 8-point advantage to a 16-point advantage is a big difference. So we need a big race here going into sort of Thursday night.
Yeah, it is a big race, and it looks like you're going to be putting those two guests in, so you're obviously happy with the job they've done for you tonight. Yeah,
obviously Tom's been with us a little bit. He's done quite a few guests in with us, and he fits in very well, and seems a little bit more like part of the team now. And Jan's been brilliant. He has had speed all night. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Okay, well, you do have gate choice in Heat 15, so can you tell us what gates you're going to go for and which riders, please?
We took 1 and 3. Tom's going to go off gate 1 and Jan off gate 3.
Okay, thanks, Richie. Stuart, it's been a tough night. Abby says you're always value for money when it comes to chats and stuff, but from a team manager point of view, I've ridden under you as well. It's very frustrating when you can see the boys are not delivering what they're capable of. As a manager, what can you do in those moments?
Well, we had a wee chat after Heat 7. I said to them, the only people you're letting yourselves down was themselves. They're letting themselves down after the way they performed second half of the season. We've kind of tried to keep it together and not let it get out of reach totally. This race is obviously pivotal, depending on what the score is. But we managed to get it down to 12. If we could walk away with 12 here tonight, I think that's as good as we can get, because we haven't raced well. But that's not to take anything away from Ipswich. They have raced well. They've asked questions of us and we've not quite had the answers. But as long as we don't go losing a 5-1 here or something, I think the ties could still be bubbly on Thursday night at Leicester. But we need to ride better, because they've been by far the better team tonight. Yeah.
You're doing this here. You've had Phil Morris having a little look at the gates. What was your grievance with the gates there?
Well, as soon as it was announced that Ipswich were taking gates 1 and 3, the tractor driver just dropped a big lot of dirt off of gate 3. Something I'm very partial at doing myself sometimes, but you're not allowed to do that anymore.
You don't do that, Leicester?
No, we don't do that, Leicester. Well, not if I'm on 2 and 4, certainly not, you know what I mean? So we just have to get that rectified. Phil's seen that situation. Hopefully it's been sorted out. Max Frick will go in gate 2 off the white helmet, and Sam Masters will go in 4 off the yellow helmet. Try and see if we can get something out of this one to keep the tie alive for the second leg.
Let's hope so. Thanks, and Phil will be happy you got him on the rake, but over to you guys in commentary.
Yeah, thanks very much. Stuart Dixon is terrific there. Clearly not particularly happy about the amount of dirt that was left kicking around. Just could see, actually, Phil Morris just scraping it away. It's been a tough night for the Leicester Lions and Stuart Dixon. There's no question about that. He really has had to work very hard on his motivational skills here with his team. But there's no doubt with gates 1 and 3 here with Quebec and Brennan. It's no easy task here in the final race of the first leg here. Halfway point we are reaching here now. He fancies that 12 points would be enough. They'd have to get off to a very good start on Thursday night to apply some pressure, because effectively the Ipswich boys would just have to have 3 alls all night long and they would win and go through to the final. So a big start will be required on Thursday night by the Leicester Lions. Quebec and Brennan have done a terrific job for the Ipswich Witches here this evening. There's no doubt about that, and Richie Hawkins had no hesitation in nominating them for the heat number 15. Gates 2 and 4, though, they're up against it again here, you would suggest, the Lions.
Yeah, they are. Great team managing there from Stuart Dixon to notice that there was possibly a little bit of doctoring on the start line. It does happen in Speedway, but it's very eagle-eyed of him to spot that.
So Tom Brennan goes from the inside in the red helmet colour, Max Frick off gate number 2 in white, Jan Quebec gate number 3 in blue, and Sam Masters goes from the outside in the yellow helmet colour. Possibly got the short straw there, Sam Masters. Max Frick, gate number 2. I think Stuart Dixon possibly putting his top rider, gate number 2, looking for Max Frick to win the race, to try and make sure, at the very least, they can share the race.
Absolutely. I think the message there from Stuart would be, Max, you go and win the race. Sam, get what you can.
Yeah, exactly that. But not going to be easy from the outside, because Quebec and Brennan have been going along great guns. And I'll tell you what, Brennan is a sharp starter. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see him neck and neck going charging into that first corner. This is still an opportunity for the Witches to have more than a 12-point lead going into the second leg on Thursday. Heat 15, here we go. Tapes are up. Pouring into the first corner, Brennan's got, oh, tell you what an effort from Masters from the outside. Oh, Frick's got up the inside. What a moment for the Lions. Brilliant move from them. Quebec's on the outside. Frick has done a terrific job of team riding here to allow Masters now to come back round the outside. Quebec coming on strong as well. Best race of the night so far.
Yeah, great start there from the Leicester boys. Great team riding around the first bend. Quebec's giving chase in third place, but at the moment the Leicester boys riding like a team in front.
Brilliant stuff from the Leicester Lions. This will reduce the deficit to 8, and it wasn't looking likely earlier on. What a response from them. They are fighting for their lives here. A lap to go. Heat number 15 in the first leg of the first semi-final, and it's a brilliant effort here, right to the death, to close it down to 8 points. Still a good lead for the Witches, but you've got to give credit to the Lions there. They weren't on the favoured gates. It was a real tear up in the first corner, and they pick up a huge 5-1 in Heat 15. What a night of Speedway. Playoff Speedway at its finest there, no question about that. Masters, who's had a difficult evening so far, comes good in Heat 15. Where did he come from gate number 4? Brilliant effort from him. So the result for you, Sam Masters 3 points out in front. Super team riding from Max Frick there, coming through in second place. Huge 5-1 for the Lions. Jan Quebec back in third place, and Tom Brennan failing to score in heat number 15. 8 points the difference at the end, 49 points to 41. Game on for Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. That's made a huge difference to Thursday's meeting. Here we see the Leicester boys from 2 and 4. Brennan makes it from 1, but Masters just gets over him from gate 4. That's a fantastic effort from gate 4 in heat 15. Tom Brennan then drifts off the line. Max Frick says thank you very much. He cuts back on the inside, and they come out the first bend in front. And from then on, fantastic team riding from the Leicester boys. Here we see again, it's Brennan and Masters that break straight away. Frick cuts back, he moves up the inside of Brennan, and he steals that second spot. And from then on in, it was fairly plain sailing from the Leicester boys. Brilliant team riding, good awareness from both riders to know where they were. Here you see a great shot of the two Leicester boys coming into the corner side by side. Great ride from those two.
Superb stuff from the Lions there in heat number 15. Stuart Dixon will be more than satisfied with that. It's been a tough night for them. It's been a brilliant effort for the Ipswich Witches, but it's now down to 8. So we have had a bit of a discussion here. Ollie, who are you going to go as rider of the night?
It swapped and changed as the night's gone on, but I'm going with Max Frick in the end. What a comeback from him, yeah. Yeah, fantastic night for him. He didn't start off the best, but his class shone through, and as the night went on and the pressure mounted, he really rose to the top.
So Emil Sayfutdinov, rider of the night. He's the captain of the Leicester Lions, Max Frick, who really did turn on the style in the last 3 races, and a brilliant performance in heat number 15. So he is the rider of the night. So, okay, let's get down to Abby.
Cal, thank you. I just looked at Stuart Dixon. He just did a sigh of relief. After 10 heats, Ipswich had a 16-point advantage. After 15 heats of this first leg, we're halfway, and now it is down to just 8. We're going to have as many interviews as we can after the break, and during the break, I'll ask Scott Nichols your questions using that hashtag #IpsLive. Okay, Scotty, time of the night. Ipswich, how do you create a team spirit in Speedway when you have a team that's always changing with injuries? Well, you'll know because you've been in that Ipswich side.
It's tough, but I think the thing with Speedway that's so unique is that we're so used to kind of racing with and against each other because we all race for different teams. So we're kind of already used to kind of having to gel with each other. And it really then comes down to the team managers do play a big role in that. And then the riders themselves. I mean, the captain can play a big part of that too.
We've seen quite a few team meetings tonight. I imagine, I know as Stuart says, but his are quite rousing and it's really like he's just rallying the troops. What's Richie Hawkins like in the team meetings? Is it calmer?
He's pretty much a polar opposite. Richie's got, you know, he kind of wants you to do well, but he's more kind of laid back and has fun with it. And everybody's different. And I think part of a team manager's skill is kind of learning how each rider ticks because they're all very, very different. I mean, you know, I've ridden under Stuart as well, and he's quite vocal, and I think a lot of the time you need that. You need someone to kick up the backside.
I think he did that tonight, didn't he? Would Scotty prefer leading from the tapes to win or last bend blast to take the 3 points?
Well, from a kind of ego point of view, it's always great to do it from behind and get the win on the line. I mean, that feels pretty cool. But from a person of my age right now, I'd rather just do it from the tapes and take it easy.
Fair point. Okay, this is from Delway. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is there additional pressure when you're captain in the playoffs compared to the regular league season?
Sometimes yes, but I think it depends on the captain's role you play, if that kind of makes sense. I think some captains just naturally absorb that pressure as well, and sometimes it's maybe to take it off the kind of lesser inexperienced riders and the younger guys. So I think it comes down to the person, but I think you definitely do feel a bit more pressure when it comes to like this stage of the season.
And you are captain and you've been captain. How it's different to other sports because you're not always as a team. You know, the next day, I mean, I'm just thinking of Latvia. Most 4 guys now driving through the night to go to Lublin, to Torun, 5 guys including Robert Lambert. Then you had some going to Gorshof. Then they're coming to a different league another day, then they're flying somewhere else. It's hard. You're not completely with the team.
No, it is, and especially on the night, like, you know, for example, like tonight, Max, like, you know, he's having a tough night, and then it's really hard to play a captain's role then because you've got to invest your time in getting your stuff together. Yeah,
important role. We're going to have a few more questions and interviews over on Eurosport 2. IPPs, 2 seconds. Okay, welcome back to Foxhall Stadium, and the final score tonight was 49-41. So Leicester did so well, they managed to get it back to 8 points, and it was a 16-point advantage. So we have got more motorsport and rugby coming up for you. It includes the FIA World Endurance Championship, 6 hours of Fiji. That's Sunday at 2:30 in the morning. Then we've got Richard Hammond's workshop. You can stream that now on Discovery Plus. Rugby Gallagher Premiership is back. The Premiership is back with a bang. The new season kicks off Friday at 7, and Bath are hosting Northampton. You can catch all the action live on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. And we've also got boxing, and it's a big one, and it's Joshua against Dubois. That's 21st of September on TNT Sports. Rider of the night then, we heard Ollie Allen and Calvin call it. He got better as the meeting went on. It's Max Fick and Phil's with him now.
Congratulations, mate. Rider of the night once again, 3rd time this year. Another watch for the collection.
Very good. Thank you very much.
You got it, mate? No problem. And then you come in with Scott now.
So Keenan, oh gosh, what a night of Speedway. What's the feeling like amongst the team? Because it's brilliant, but you had such a big lead after 10 heats.
Yeah, I think at the start of the meeting we started really well, and as the track got slicker, we kind of lost the lead we had. Of course, it's still 8 points, which is it's better than nothing, but of course we had a bigger lead at the middle, and it would have been good to keep that. But it is what it is, and we move on to Thursday.
Were you surprised, Keenan, at that lead at the start and how good you guys were? I know that we got a 1-7, but you got 2 guests in, and that's, you know, you've got to try and fit in and slot in quite quickly.
Yeah, of course, it's definitely a patched-up team still, which it sucks as the team we had. I think we would have went very far, but look, the guests come in today, and I think they all did a very good job. Of course, Yan come in and he was fabulous at 1, so yeah, look, it is what it is, and I think we all rode well, and we show what we can do, and hopefully we can push on towards Thursday.
What happens from now until Thursday? Is there like a group WhatsApp? Are you kind of motivating each other? Or are you just talking about what you could possibly do at Bowman Park?
I think we all know what we have to do. We got to keep that 8-point lead and push on and hopefully make them finals. I think everyone's eager to make the final. It showed today. Everyone looked very good and fought well as a team. So hopefully we can keep that going for Thursday and do our jobs.
Adam Ellis actually had a really good point to Scotty. You were leading, you know, the whole season pretty much until the last few weeks. Coming in now into the playoffs as the underdogs, not having that pressure actually is allowing you to have that freedom on the track.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're very big underdogs. We have a guest at number 1, and we have Tom also in the team as a guest. And of course, we had Emil and Doyle, and everyone knows how good they were at the start of the year and how good they always are. So, of course, we're big underdogs, but I think we all have a chip on our shoulder, and we all want to keep going and push on from where we were at the start of the year, and hopefully give back to all the boys and the team for doing such a good job.
Keenan, thank you so much. Let's head over to Scotty now. He's with Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. I'm with Sam. Sam, mate, I've got to ask, what the hell did you do to make the start like that off 4?
Well, you know, I looked at it and it looked like pretty polished off 4, and the track staff haven't put some dirt on gate 3, so I thought I'm going to have to do something very drastic here, and held it flat and hope for the best, and I couldn't believe I got across, so yeah, I was pretty impressed with that.
Mate, it was, and then perfect bit of team ride, and Max doing a great job shepherding you around the inside, and obviously the fist pump there, mate, I know that means a lot because you cut that deficit down to 8. Stuart Dixon, he must have been pretty vocal going into that Heat 15.
Oh, he was vocal all night, especially after about Heat 6 when we were a fair few points down, and got us going, but, you know, to pull it back to 8, we can't be too disappointed with that for what we were 16 down, yeah, so... the fist pump was more like, how did I get a 4 when we just got a 5-1? That's unreal. But, you know, we dug deep. It's hard with having RR and, you know, we're missing Dougie and Cookie, and it makes it hard coming into the playoffs. But, yeah, 8 points. We can't be disappointed and, you know, still got a big task on Thursday.
It was, but as a collective, though, I know, you know, I was standing right near your pit spots, and it becomes quite individual at a point, especially early on, because your boys are struggling. You know, they were pulling away from you. It looked like everybody was making changes to the bikes. Nobody looked really happy, and to turn it around, that obviously gives you a big boost going into your home leg.
Yeah, that's right. It's you know, we had a bit of bad luck with my ignition going in that first race, so it should have been 3 points closer to the score, or 4 points closer to the score, and I didn't change much on the bike. I just knew I needed to just get in front, and the way the track was, you could make the start, man. Your life was easy, but yeah, we were struggling with that to start with.
That's always the way, but thanks for chatting to us, mate. Awesome Heat 15. Abby, over to you.
Scotty, thank you. So Thursday is leg 2 of this semi-final one between Leicester Lions and Ipswich Witches. The British Superbikes, round 9 for them, they're in Alton Park. Saturday you can join it in Eurosport 2. British Speedway playoff semi-final, second semi-final leg 1 will be in Bellevue at the National Speedway Stadium, and they're against the Sheffield Tigers. So it is that fierce rivalry, the War of the Roses. So, Scotty, I've just been giving you the questions on Discovery Plus, and now I'll do it again on Eurosport 2, but I've got some different questions for you. How much could Ryan Douglas make a difference on Thursday?
I think he can make a big difference at home. I think, like we said it before, Ryan's a class rider, but I think Ipswich is possibly one of the tracks. I mean, he's been exceptionally good here, but I think it's one that he can be a bit hit and miss at. And I think tonight it didn't hurt them too much. But where it does hurt them is that when it's rider replacement, we saw a few riders have to have 2 rides on the trot back to back. Yeah. That's all very well when everything's flowing, but we saw Leicester boys were struggling tonight, making a lot of changes, and that can put a lot of pressure on. So it takes a lot of the pressure off.
Interesting when Max was saying, you know, that actually Stuart Dixon is motivating us in, as he is great value, and I did say that. But he was also saying, talk to each other, guys, help each other with the setup. Richard Lawson looked like he had had it good quite early on in the meeting.
It is, but sometimes what works for one doesn't always work for the other, and I mean that can be. But it is good to have a bit of a guidance. If one rider's got something working, you can go, well, let's try that at least.
Yeah.
But it's Stuart's great, it really is. But it's so hard to talk when your head is just so invested in your own game.
Difference between Ipswich and the Leicester track?
Leicester's tighter. It's another technical track. I mean, they're very well suited because they're both more technical tracks. But Leicester, I think they've got some good home track knowledge. It's possibly a little bit slicker, maybe not as grippy as Ipswich is. But I think, to be fair, it can be another very evenly matched contest.
Last question then. Ipswich ahead by 8. How much can you defend a lead in Speedway?
Do you know what? It's a good question. It's to find that balance between pushing far enough away and falling into tactical territory or kind of not. But I think to be fair, they've just got to push on. They've just got to keep going, pushing all the way, because it's at this level it's hard to defend because everybody's so up for it, and you kind of. That momentarily lapse where you kind of think I'm going to settle and someone can pounce, so you really can't be off your game.
And you felt it, didn't you, in the pits here at Foxhall Stadium tonight? Everyone felt up for it. There was just a level of excitement. With that becomes trepidation for those riders that aren't producing the results. We saw Max Fick just come good during the course of the evening, but a real feeling of tension.
But what's the difference? Yeah. This is normal race, 15 races,
it's
4 laps a race.
It's different. It's different.
And exactly, and that's the whole thing, like with the Grand Prix and British Championships. Everything's the same, but the pressure is the big difference, and you see it tonight.
It was between us when we were doing our
Kelv was
rehearsal.
right revved up, bless him. You want to start fighting people. I've never seen Kelv like that.
We will be going to Leicester on Thursday, and Ipswich will be taking an 8-point lead. How important are those 8 points going to be?
Well, it's better than nothing. I mean, to be fair, I think in some respects I'll be quite happy with that because they've had a tough run. So, but to go from 16 to 8, that's got to be a hard pill to swallow.
It is the playoffs. We head to Leicester. Make sure you join us then. Leicester versus Ipswich. See you in a moment.